I come. I ain't going nowhere, so you better run. I'm a giant, and I never fall. The biggest in the game, I want it all. I'm a giant, like a riot. I'm defiant, more power than a tyrant. I'm a giant, the biggest in the game. I'm a giant, I'm defiant, more power than a tyrant. And I never fall, no, and I want it all.
You're looking at Anthony Field at Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Abilene Christian University, where tonight the Carroll Dragons take on the Frenship Tigers in the area round for the second straight season. You see the Dragons in their white jerseys, black pants that only come out in the playoffs. There's bleached hair under those white helmets as well. Hi there, everybody, and welcome into the Tommy Pennington Realty Group pregame show. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton, our statistician Ryder Maple, producer Bill Webb, and director Tim Polster tonight. The Dragons shut out Fort Worth Boswell last week in the bi-district round 70-0, while Frenship topped El Paso Eastwood, who the Dragons played in week 1 of this season, by the score of 87-58. So 70 for the Dragons last week, 87 for the Tigers last week. Robert, we could be in for some points tonight.
Well, you definitely could, Chris. You know, on paper, this Frenship offense averages about 46 points a game. The Carroll offense averaging a little over 55 points. You know, both teams seemingly score at will. You know, Frenship averages about 4 passing touchdowns a game, 2 rushing touchdowns a game. Then you have Carroll on the other side, averaging about 3 passing touchdowns and 8 rushing touchdowns a game. And we'll see 2 great offenses at work tonight.
See some of the Carroll skill players getting loose on the field right there. Head coach Riley Dodge in the middle of that huddle with Angelo Renda, Davis Penn in the backfield right there. But it's not all offense for the Dragons. I mentioned the 0 on the other side of the ledger last week. And in fact, Carroll hasn't allowed a point since their loss to Byron Nelson 3 weeks ago. The defense has picked off 5 passes in those 2 shutouts. Last week, the offense didn't turn it over at all. That's a recipe that Riley Dodge wants to stick to.
Well, you've seen the Dragon team take it personal since Byron. The execution on both sides of the ball has been very impressive. You know, as a team, you've seen the Dragons really fly to the ball, play fast. And Chris, when you play fast and you don't react, you can create some opportunities, and the Dragons have done just that. You know, more importantly, Eric Garza has done a tremendous job. You know, you look at him on the season, 3 interceptions, 80 tackles, and converting 2 touchdowns on the defensive side of the ball or special teams. You know, Graham Knowles did an excellent job last week, really stepping into the pocket and making some great throws. You know, letting those routes develop with that wide receiver core.
On the other side of the field, Carroll will face a quarterback in the Tigers' Hudson Hutchison, who is among the best in the state. He's thrown for more than 4,000 yards this year and is Frenship's leading rusher as well. What makes him dangerous?
Well, first of all, when you have a 142 quarterback rating, you've passed for 4,200 yards, 47 touchdowns, and you've rushed for 580 or 518 yards with 7 TDs. That puts you near the top of the state in the country, Chris. Coach Northcutt stated, you know, what really sets him apart is his accuracy and his football IQ. He's extremely accurate on the film, but above all, he's a returning starter, and that goes a long way just with experience, Chris.
He was the Frenship starter a year ago when these 2 teams met in the same round, a 69-14 Carroll win. Owen Allen ran for 5 first-half touchdowns in that one. The Dragon defense sacked Hutchison 10 times. We've talked all season about this Dragons defensive line being so dominant, especially the defensive ends. So what do they need to do to replicate that performance and keep Hutchison under pressure like they did a year ago?
You know, last year they started out the game with about an 8-yard sack, first play out, from kickoff. And ultimately, you've got to play fast. You know, the front 7 has to put pressure on Hutchinson. You do that by winning the one-to-one matchups. You know, doing some twist games up front, some, just blitz packages. Really holding down Landon Stone, who's one of their star receivers, having about 1,600 yards receiving this year. contain the QB when coverage is intact. And what I mean by that is you got to put them in situations, especially these third and long situations, and really allow the defensive line, that front seven, to pin their ears back and go get the quarterback. That's how you're going to stop this offense.
Head coach Riley Dodge talking to some of the offensive players right there as we get set for kickoff between Carroll and Frenship, the area round of the 6A Division II Region 1 high school playoffs. It's 67 degrees, a little cloudy here as the sun sets in Abilene. Perfect second round football weather. Still to come on the Tommy Pennington Realty Group pregame show, we'll hear from Riley Dodge. We'll take a look at the rest of the 6A D2 Region 1 bracket and get you tonight's starting lineups. But first, we break down each team on both sides of the ball. That's next on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Southlake. Carroll Dragons' biggest fan here, Tommy Pennington. The Carroll Dragons are consistent winners on the field, and so too is Tommy Pennington Realty Group. We're one of the biggest Dragon supporters year in and year out, and we certainly know what it means to protect the tradition. Every person in our company understands the value of integrity and strong work ethic. Sound familiar? Just like the Dragons, we're committed to you. So remember, when it comes time to buy or sell a new home, my Dragons would tell you,
call Tommy.com. Go Dragons!
Hi Dragon fans, Mike Mills here. Imagine you're sitting in traffic on Friday afternoon just trying to make it to the Dragon kickoff. You change lanes to get ahead, only to find the lane you left speeds up right where you left off. Sometimes in investing is a lot like changing lanes in traffic. A new investment will look really good for a short while, but by the time you get on board, it loses its steam, and the best thing you could have done was just stick with your original plan. For over 25 years, we've been helping Dragon families achieve their financial goals. We can help you as well. Check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com. Go Dragons.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the third floor of the Southlake Medical Building, attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
This is Dr. Mark Greenberg, team physician for the Carroll Dragons. All Star Orthopedics is proud to be the official sports medicine providers of Dragon Athletics. Our 8 board-certified orthopedic specialists offer surgical as well as non-surgical treatments for a full range of orthopedic injuries and conditions, with on-site imaging and physical therapy, along with best-in-class outpatient and inpatient surgical facilities. You can trust that we will be there with you every step of the way. Let us get you back in the game.
Where do Dragons go for sports equipment, footwear, branded gear, and much more? Not Just Soccer is Southlake's only full-service sporting goods dealer and offers an old-school shopping experience with quality products and service. From helmets to cleats and much more, Not Just Soccer carries products for football, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, and other sports, and are proud supporters of Dragon Youth football and baseball. Our store is in the heart of Southlake at Byron Nelson in 1709. Stop by soon and see our great selection. That's Not Just Soccer in Southlake.
Welcome back to Wildcat Stadium in Abilene, where Carroll is getting set to take on Frenship out of Wolfforth, Texas. That's up near the Lubbock area, who beat El Paso Eastwood in the bi-district round last week by the score of 87-58. This is a Frenship offense that scores a lot of points, but we're going to start with the Carroll offense and how it matches up with the Frenship defense. And let's start on the ground, because from the outside looking in, a lot of people hear Southlake Carroll and they think passing offense, but that really has not been the case in recent seasons. And in particular, over the last couple of weeks, running back Riley Wormley has looked really good, scored 2 more touchdowns last week, has 5 over his last 2 games. And Robert, he seems to be playing some of his best football of the season at the right time.
Yeah, it's been his coming out party, so to speak, Chris. You've really seen him trust the zone scheme. His vision has developed. He's hitting the right holes, seeing the cutback lane, and he's being patient. You've also seen the speed on the edge. When he gets on a corner, you really see his speed outside the tackles versus inside the tackles. And obviously, I'm going to say it's the big credit to the big guys up front.
And in the passing game, Carroll will be without tight end Jack Van Dorsler and receiver Caden Jackson tonight. They were okay without them last week against Boswell, as Clayton Whalen had his best statistical game of the season, catching 5 balls for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. What did you see from Whalen last week, and how do you step up?
Well, what's made Clayton Whalen successful is what makes a lot of Carroll players successful. They have that next man up mentality. And above all, he has a big target. He's 6'3", he can go over the top, he can go across the middle. He's a red zone threat. There's a reason why he's going to be playing at the next level. He's committed to Stephen F. Austin. Chris, he's just a tremendous asset to Graham Knowles and the Carroll offense.
On the Frenship defensive side of the ball, we expect to see a 3-3 stack look from them with 5 defensive backs. But one of the guys that jumps out just looking at the sizes of these players is the middle linebacker, Caden Blakely. He was a defensive end last year, listed at 6'3", 240 pounds. Not a lot of middle linebackers at that size.
Well, when I played, he would be a huge offensive lineman. So, it's rare to see that. He's a big athletic player, with a lot of experience. He's a third-year player on varsity. You've got to take him out of his game. Get him moving sideline to sideline, get him to commit on the zone, and really get him to make a choice on what hole he's going to hit so we can expose on the cutback. But honestly, Coach Northcutt said, he's a guy that has a lot of speed, but he also double dips into the baseball world and is a pitch runner for the team. So he's got some speed for that size.
Yeah, and he's also their leading tackler. 116 tackles on the season, had 14 tackles and 1 tackle for a loss last week. So Blakely will be kind of the key guy that we're going to be keeping an eye on when Carroll is on offense, and that size will be hard to miss. So that's how this Carroll offense stacks up against the Frenship defense. We'll switch sides when we come back and talk about how the Carroll defense stacks up against the Frenship offense. That's next on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Southlake. Tommy Pennington here. For many years, the Tommy Pennington Realty Group has been the real estate company to go to when it comes time to buy or sell. We know Dragonland. Like the Dragon team, my entire company understands the level of dedication it takes to be successful. I promise our same dedication to you when you need our help. We know what it takes to get your home sold because we specialize in selling Southlake. So remember, when it comes time to buy or sell a property, my Dragon fans would tell you,
Call Tommy.com. Go Dragons!
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HearstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
Just as every pass, tackle, and touchdown is crucial on the football field, every investment decision you make can change the game of your financial future. Hey, Ty Lassiter here with Key City Capital, Carroll's MVP of investments, connecting your capital to wealth. Just like in football, strategy is everything, and our team at Key City Capital is here to help you make the right plays. So partner with us and don't worry about tenants and toilets. That's our job. Whether you're a rookie or a seasoned pro, our tailored game plan ensures maximum returns on your investments with the tax benefits of owning real estate. We've been in the game for 20 plus years. Trust us to be your quarterback to your investments, ensuring safety, growth, and a strong financial portfolio. Every great team needs strategy, discipline, and expert guidance. With Key City Capital, you're not just investing, you're joining a championship team. So give us a call at 817-912-1569 or visit us at keycitycapital.com, KEYCITYCAPITAL.com, and secure your financial touchdown now.
Frenship Tigers leaving the field as you get a look at the highway in the distance here from Wildcat Stadium on the campus of ACU. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you as we continue on the Tommy Pennington Realty Group pregame show. Robert, I can see the Chili's where we had lunch today here in Abilene.
Little chicken crispers and some chips and salsa.
Can't
go wrong. You can't go wrong, Chris.
You never know what the dinner situation is going to be like, so you got to have a big lunch on these days, right? Well, let's talk about the Carroll offense against this Frenship, or the Carroll defense, rather, against this Frenship offense. We already talked about quarterback Hudson Hutchison, one of the best quarterbacks in the state this year, has thrown for nearly 4,200 yards, 47 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions, a 74% completion percentage. And just by virtue of throwing for nearly 4,200 yards, there, of course, are receivers who have racked up a ton of catches and yardage. Junior Leighton Stone's 88 catches this year, 22 touchdowns. Senior Landon Hutchison, their cousins, 73 catches, 780 yards, and 6 scores. And sophomore Chase Campbell, 71 catches, 1,244 yards, and 17 touchdowns. Those are going to be the top 3 pass catchers for this team. How did the Dragons slow this offense down?
Well, the first thing is, Frenship can get vertical. They can occupy the middle. They can spread you out formationally. They can force a 6-man box. And then the receiving core, as you just mentioned, they run the route tree to perfection. So, ultimately, you've got to slow them down. You got to get pressure on them. You can't get in a track meet with them either, Chris. So I think getting that pressure, put them in a third down situation is going to be ideal for the Carroll defense.
We talked about the 10 sacks that Carroll had last year against this Frenship offense. How do they make sure Dustin Mark and Wyatt Duffy can pin their ears back and go after Hutchison when needed tonight?
Well, you can't. Only having 6 guys in the box is going to be, is always difficult because you can't bring everyone. But you got to manipulate some type of blitzes. You've got to slant the defensive linemen. You got to do some twisting games. You've got to create some openings because you just can't go 5-on-4. You've got to create some opportunities. They did an excellent job doing that last year. And I would probably expect to see some of that this year. So, a big emphasis on those interior 2 defensive tackles, getting in there and getting some pressure through the middle. The one thing you got to prevent is Hutchison stepping up and making those throws. You want him to get out of the pocket where he can meet a Dustin Mark.
The baseball field here at ACU also in the distance. See the Carroll Band and the Emerald Bells across the way from where we are situated. That is normally the student section here at ACU, but it is the visitors side tonight for Carroll fans in attendance. Let's also talk about Eric Garza, the senior who's been playing linebacker this year, moved down from safety after an injury early in the season. And Riley Dodge earlier this week was extremely complimentary of Garza's transition to the linebacker role, being able to identify things that he sees the opposing offense doing before the ball is snapped. What have you seen from Garza as far as development goes from week 2 or 3 when he started playing linebacker to now?
Well, you talk about an offense. You have a field general, the quarterback, Grant Knowles, and Garza's really kind of accepted that role and become that field general for that defense. You've seen him come alive. All year he's been very consistent and very good, but you're starting to see playing very fast on the defensive end. He's making a ton of plays, interceptions, caused fumbles. He's just a leader of that defense. And I tell you what, he's transitioned so well from that safety spot to linebacker, which isn't always the easiest, especially during season. But I tell you what, he's looking like that playmaker that defense really needs.
And the secondary really didn't miss a beat when he left. Mitchell Paulson stepped up into that starting safety role and has filled in nicely alongside Carter High. 5 defensive backs: Trey Ferry, Carter High, Mitchell Paulson, Zach Englehart, and Sam Fuller. Going against this receiving core that is dangerous, what's going to be key for those DBs tonight?
Well, you got to say you got to play your zones, right? You can't. They're not going to do man-to-man. They're going to play some cover 2. You got to be careful and rely on each other and communicate. Communicating that back end and understanding, where they're at. They're going to get yards. They're going to get some big plays. You're going to have to just move on from play to play. And that secondary has done a good job this year, and they've really matured as a group. And that's really a group that Coach Dodd said he's really proud of this year.
See some of the Carroll fans making their way into Wildcat Stadium here in Abilene, where at 6:30 we will have kickoff between the Dragons and the Tigers, area round of the high school football playoffs. Coming up next on the Tommy Pennington Realty Group pregame show, we'll hear from Dragons head coach Riley Dodge on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dragon fans, I'm Tommy Pennington. For years, the Tommy Pennington Realty Group has been the go-to real estate company when it comes time to buy and sell. When it comes to Southlake, there are 2 teams you can count on: the Dragons and the Tommy Pennington Realty Group. Be sure to visit us on the web at TommyPennington.com 24/7 to look at the latest homes available, or give us a call, 817-416-9000 today. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. So from my Dragon family to yours,
Call Tommy.com. Go Dragons!
Where can you go anytime, day or night, when an emergency strikes? Complete Care in Southlake is an emergency room committed to providing compassionate, priority care with little to no wait time and no surprise billing. At Complete Care, you'll always see an ER-trained doctor, and they have all the same emergency equipment as a hospital ER. Open 24/7, even on holidays. Make Complete Care your choice for emergency medical care. Get in, get out, get back to life.
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
Howdy, Dragon fans. This is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing. As a Southlake resident, I understand what winning teams and championships are all about. CLC Roofing is your one-stop commercial and residential roofing provider. We offer roofing, gutter, skylight, and solar options for your home. Whether you need a new roof or just a repair, contact us today to schedule your free roofing inspection. You can visit us online at clcroofing.com or contact my office directly at 817-416-ROOF. That's clcroofing.com, or call us directly at 817-416-ROOF. And go Dragons, let's finish.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Welcome back to the Tommy Pennington Realty Group pregame show as we get set for Carroll and Frenship, round 2 of the 6A Division II playoffs. Chris Blake joined by Dragons head coach Riley Dodge. And coach, entering the second round, this is a team for you that's put up 70 points 4 times this year, posted 3 shutouts defensively. As you look ahead, what opportunity does this group has as we move through the month of November?
Yeah, it's the same story. I really believe we have a really good football team that's, has a lot of belief in the locker room. I know a lot of people don't get the opportunity to see them work during the week in the film room and on the practice field, but it's a group that understands that, our edge has got to be how we prepare, and they're preparing the right way, and we're just playing fast and free on game night. And we've had another good week of preparation on a short week, but nothing new to us. We play a lot of Thursday games.
Last week against Boswell, you guys didn't turn the ball over. You had 3 interceptions of your own. After a couple of games where you guys did have some turnovers, you got to be happy with that result against Boswell last week.
Yeah, huge key to victory for us going to the Boswell. Taking care of the football, playing complementary to our defense, and at the same thing, really talking to our defense kids, being aggressive, go make those plays, don't be afraid to make them. And we got those turnovers, and we took care of the football. And when you're doing those things, and as efficient we've been on offense and defense, you should have a really good night.
One of those turnovers came, or one of those takeaways, I should say, came when the game was already 70-0. Ethan Fisher had a pick in the end zone. Even though it was late in the game, how much pride does Lee Munn and that defense take in keeping the 0 on the board?
Oh, huge. I think the entire sideline. We are a goal-oriented football program. We believe and die by our goal board, offensively and defensively. The following day after games, we have production meeting, and where we hand out stars for the offense, the defense, the attack teams, and then individually by production. And we had a huge star party on our helmets the following day. But the entire sideline is dialed into it, and we take a lot of pride in different goals, but absolutely a goose egg, and you don't get those opportunities very much in modern day football.
I want to ask you a little bit more about your secondary, because this is a Frenship team that likes to throw the ball. Last week, I thought we saw really good open field tackling. Couple plays by Carter Hyde, Trey Ferry stood out. How have you seen that development over the course of the year from a tackling standpoint, and how important will that be against a Frenship team that has some pretty good receivers?
Yeah, we've gotten better and better each and every week throughout the season. I sound like a broken record every time we talk, but you have 4 seniors back there, and it means a lot to them. We trust them in coverage. I think that's a huge part of it. We trust them, so we're going to put them in situations where they are going to be soloed up on these Frenship wide receivers that are very talented and that have a lot of yards in the air throughout the year. And but we believe in those guys, and it's going to be a really good challenge for us.
On the offensive side last week, Clayton Wayland had his best statistical game of the season, and it seems like it's been a little bit of a slow build for him since he started the year hurt, came back, and has worked his way into being one of Graham's favorite targets. What did you see that allowed him to break out last week?
Well, I think it's the way he's practicing. I always tell the kids, you got to see as a wide receiver, you got to see it through the lens of the quarterback and also the lens of the play caller. If I have trust in you, then I'm gonna probably dial you up. So Clayton has practiced really, really well throughout the year. He's healthy. He's always been a big time playmaker for us. He's got the strongest hands and on our football team, bigger body. So he's really stepping up at the right time for us.
This is the second year in a row that you meet Frenship in the area round. Does it help you at all seeing a team back-to-back years, or is it kind of a wash since they saw you guys too?
Yeah, we're definitely familiar with them. I think it goes on both sides of the fence. But yeah, it definitely does help. But at the same time, you got to be a little bit more creative on how you game plan and change some stuff up just so they're not sitting dead red on the things that you showed them last year.
And they have a quarterback in senior Hudson Hutchison who's thrown for more than 4,000 yards. He's also their leading rusher. So what makes him a dangerous player, and what do you try to key on to slow him down?
Well, first of all, those are crazy stats. Those are video game numbers, for sure. They like to throw the rock, and he's been very, very accurate, high completion rate, taking care of the football. But it starts and ends with him. But he's got some talented guys around him. But we were able to get to him last year. We had a lot of sacks, so we just have to make him uncomfortable. They do a good job of getting the ball in the perimeter, getting the ball out of his hands quickly. So we, with our secondary, we got to be very physical in the perimeter and get these wide receivers off of us.
And then finally, this is a Frenship team that scored more than 80 points last week. You guys hit 70. Is this going to be a first to a certain number, or will somebody be slowed down at some point tonight?
I sure hope not. I sure hope not. hopefully we can get on the bus not too late and get back home. No, we have I feel like we have a very good defense. We got a great challenge in front of us. It's all over the film. We respect the crap out of them. But we're gonna go give it our best shot. But we believe in our defense that we're gonna be able to do the job tonight.
All right, Coach. Thanks for the time and good luck tonight.
Thanks, Chris.
Dragons head coach Riley Dodge joining us on the Tommy Pennington Realty Group pregame show, starting lineups and opening kickoff, coming up next on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Southlake. Carroll Dragons' biggest fan here, Tommy Pennington. The Carroll Dragons are consistent winners on the field, and so too is Tommy Pennington Realty Group. We're one of the biggest Dragon supporters year in and year out, and we certainly know what it means to protect the tradition. Every person in our company understands the value of integrity and strong work ethic. Sound familiar? Just like the Dragons, we're committed to you. So remember, when it comes time to buy or sell a new home, my Dragons would tell you,
Call Tommy.com. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Gets away from a defender across the 5. Touchdown, Dragons.
This week's Dragon football broadcast is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Whitechapel Methodist Church, Tommy Pennington Real Estate, Feed Store Barbecue, Macero, Hearst Mitsubishi, Patriot Mobile, Mills Wealth Management, Godwin Bowman PC, All-Star Orthopedics, Clayton & Clayton Real Estate, Complete Care, Fidelity Title, the Baker Firm, Not Just Soccer, Southlake Dermatology, CLC Roofing, Key City Capital, AC Pros, Kim Bedwell, Briggs Freeman Sotheby's, and Precision Eagle Pools and Remodeling. Now let's go to the booth for the Tommy Pennington Realty Group pregame show. Here's Chris Blake and Robert Clayton.
From Anthony Field at Wildcat Stadium on the ACU campus in Abilene, this is the area round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs as the Dragons take on the Frenship Tigers from Wolfforth. Hi there, everybody. Chris Blake and Robert Clayton with you on this Thursday night. Thanks for being with us. Carroll comes in at 9-1 off a first-round win over Fort Worth Boswell, 70-0. Frenship, meanwhile, at 9-2 on the season, an 87-58 win over Eastwood, El Paso in the bi-district round, a team that Carroll played in week 1 of the season. Getting a look at the Dragon Head in the end zone where the football team will run out of. This is a nice facility here on the ACU campus. Light breeze going from right to left in front of us across the field. Players have full tunnels and locker rooms underneath to run out of. So, Robert, It's the first time the Dragons this season have gotten to play in a facility that it feels bigger.
Yeah, as we were walking in, we made that comment, Chris, that this is about as nice as it gets for a playoff game. You know, it is a beautiful facility here in Abilene. They've done a tremendous job, just the stadium in general, in the press box we're in, but just the field is really put together very well. And what a night for these kids to remember.
We're about 10 minutes from kickoff. Let's talk through some of the starting lineups here, and let's start with the Carroll offense under head coach Riley Dodge in his 6th year at the helm, 75-7 overall for Coach Dodge. Quarterback Graham Knowles at 6'6", 215, a senior, has thrown for more than 2,300 yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 picks this year. He's also run for 143 yards and 8 touchdowns. We'll see the tandem of Davis Penn and Riley Wormley in the backfield. Penn just over 1,000 yards and 19 rushing touchdowns on the year. Wormley 428 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns. He's scored 5 touchdowns in his last 2 games. The receivers tonight will be seniors Clayton Whalen and Eric Busman. We also expect to see senior Jake Fulmer, sophomore Brock Boyd out there. The tight end will be senior Jackson Berryman, and the offensive line from left to right, 4 seniors and a junior, Ben Carlson, Trent Wilson, Andrew Cunningham, John McLaughlin, and Harrison Moore. Wilson, the lone junior of the bunch. The Frenship defense that Dragons offense will face tonight up front, a 3-down lineman look for the Tigers. The defensive ends, Jacob Bankston, a senior, and Caden Spano, also a senior, while the defensive tackle, 6'2", 230-pound sophomore Brandon Lucero. The linebackers, junior Hunter Hicks at 6'2", 195, senior Caden Blakely at 6'3", 240, and junior Cooper Archer at 5'9", 155. The safeties, junior Hudson Simpson, junior Holden Phillips, and senior Santiago Sanchez. The cornerbacks are juniors Maverick Allen and Bryce Garza. For the Frenship offense, under Jay Northcutt in his 7th year there, he has a lot of experience, Robert, in the DFW area. Came to Frenship from Saxe, where he was the offensive coordinator for several years. Also coached at multiple stops in Louisville ISD, coached at Colleyville Heritage, so he knows Carroll and Southlake very well.
Well, it's one thing he mentioned that, you know, he was coaching at Colleyville when Riley was playing, so he's very familiar with the Dodges and, you know, what they're capable of doing in the coaching arena. And, you know, he's had a look at him last year as well in the second round too, so he's in familiar territory, Chris.
Get a look at his team walking out of the tunnel in the end zone to our right. And Northcutt is from the Lubbock area, grew up in Plainview, went to Plainview High School, graduated in '94. So the head coaching job at Frenship was a chance for him to get back closer to home. Plainview, about 46 miles north of Lubbock. So, but this offense that Northcutt will run out there tonight features the senior quarterback who we've talked about, Hudson Hutchison. More than 4,000 passing yards, 47 passing touchdowns, and 7 rushing touchdowns on the year. The running backs, we expect to see a bunch of them. Senior Jaden Tackett, senior Luke Cortez, junior Jordan Hernandez could all get some carries, as could senior Landon Hutchison, who will also be moved around at some of the receiver slots as well, with junior Leighton Stone and sophomore Chase Campbell. And 4th receiver, who we haven't mentioned yet, senior Brooks Robertson, has caught 25 passes for 626 yards and 7 touchdowns on the year. Frenship makes its way out of the tunnel. The Dragons coming out of the locker room and heading over to theirs. The offensive line for Frenship, left to right, senior Grayson Pelsor, junior Saul Trevino, junior Grayson Page, senior Eli Hicks, and senior Jake Souter. Carroll defense up front, all seniors, all 11 players, not just up front, are seniors. Dustin Mark, Zach Scarborough, Julian Monero, and Wyatt Duffy. The linebackers, Bridger Jentz and Eric Garza. Safeties, Carter High, Mitchell Paulson, and Zach Englehart. And the corners are Trey Ferry and Sam Fuller. As the Dragons get ready to make their way out, the Emerald Bells lining the sidelines. The band has made the trip as well. And the contingent of Carroll fans awaiting the Dragons run out of that tunnel. So this is round 2 of the high school football playoffs. The winner of this game will play the winner of Highland Park and McKinney. That game is tomorrow night at SMU. Dragons take the field. There is some other action, or just one other game in 6A division, or 6A in the area tonight, I should say. That is Jesuit and Coppell. That game will kick off 30 minutes after ours at 7. The 5A level, there are no games tonight, but a bunch tomorrow. So not a lot of action around the North Texas schools tonight, but Carroll kicking things off along with that Coppell and Jesuit game among the larger schools. And as the Dragons make their way out of the tunnel, we will have the national anthem here shortly, performed by the Frenship marching band, as the Tigers are the home team tonight.
You're mentioning the Coppell and Jesuit game. You know, that's a game I'm kind of earmarking. Coppell's kind of, not that they've flown on the radar, so to speak, but they're a very good team, and as a potential team, if they can take down Jesuit, would probably meet a Byron Nelson team next round, I believe.
And it's a Byron Nelson team that in this round will take on Midland tomorrow night at 6 in Midland. So Byron Nelson having to travel a little bit to play a true road game in the area round. And this Carroll Frenship game, one of 9 matchups between schools from North Texas and schools from either West Texas or El Paso. Dallas Morning News had a really good article with some stats on those sorts of matchups today. Since 2021-2022 season, or over the last 2 years, I guess I should say, North Texas teams have gone a combined 17-3 against West Texas schools in the playoffs. So Dallas-Fort Worth area has dominated these kinds of matchups.
Yeah, we talked about that on our way down here, Chris, kind of the migration of athletes and you know, where it's kind of concentrated there in the DFW Metroplex now. You know, before you'd always, you know, talk about either Frenship, Midland, or Abilene Coopers, Abilene Highs, and, you know, that stat says it all, really.
Dragons win the toss and have elected to defer to the second half.
Good luck, gentlemen.
So Frenship will have the ball first in this one. And a couple of those exceptions, the Morning News noted, Lubbock Cooper beat Grapevine a couple of years ago. That was a Cooper team that made it all the way to the state semifinal, though. At the 4A level, Abilene Wiley made a deep run in 2016 and lost a regional title game to Argyle by just a touchdown a year ago. So Dragons look to continue that DFW area dominance over West Texas schools tonight, and we will pause momentarily for the national anthem.
Presented by the Frenship High School Band.
National anthem performed by the Frenship High School Marching Band, and we are just about set to get things started here in the area round. Carroll and Frenship. The Tigers will get the ball first, and we expect some points to be scored in this one. If you're just joining us here a little bit later, Frenship in the bi-district round beat Eastwood out of El Paso by the score of 87-58. That was a game that was back and forth throughout the first half, but Frenship in the second half was able to pull away, come away with that 29-point win. Get a look at the Carroll sideline, and yes, there are more bodies over there in the playoffs. The Dragons like to bring as many players in their football program as they can up to the varsity roster during the playoffs. Give them a chance to get experience, and even if they're not in the game, be around this atmosphere, get used to it, to make contributions in future seasons. Get set to kick things away for the Dragons. All kickoffs tonight powered by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame, this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. So Lemmerman set to kick it away. It is Hudson Simpson and Chase Campbell back to receive for the Tigers. Lemmerman going with the all-black sleeves as well as foot meets the ball, and we are underway. This one is going to be fielded right at the goal line by Simpson. Running along the near hash mark is going to be dragged down shy of the 20-yard line. And that is where Frenship will take over. Nice play by the junior safety, Ethan Fisher, on the tackle.
And Chris, watch Frenship get in here and try to get Hudson under at least some type of confidence here. Get some easy throws going, and then open it up and start trying to go at least a little vertical down the field. You know, this is a big-time Frenship offense that can score at will. Dragon defense has got to come out and really make a statement on this first drive.
So Landon Hutchison, number 6, goes in motion out of the backfield, gets the ball in the flat on first down. A flag comes out on the play. And Zach Engelhart seems to think it's going to be a hold against Frenship. So they get Robertson for the hold, the 6'5", 175-pound senior receiver. That'll back him up 10. So one of the things that we're going to be paying attention to for the Tigers is where number 6, Landon Hutchison, lines up for this offense. Dragons think they can key on him. So 1st and 20, Hutchison from his own goal line, under pressure, escapes it. Still under pressure and finally gets rid of the ball. Was it complete? It was not. Along the far sideline, the intended target was Hutchison, but it'll be 2nd and 20.
As this Frenship offense is backed up, that's exactly what the Dragons have to do. They got to get some penetration there from up front. As you saw, it doesn't allow Hudson to really step into the pocket and make those throws. You got to get him flushed out a little bit, make those errant passes.
Luke Cortez, the running back to Hutchison's right, on 2nd down, drops back to throw, under pressure again, over the middle, incomplete, intended for Robertson. Got a hand on it, but it fell to the turf.
Again, this is exactly what the Dragons defense has to do. We've seen back-to-back plays, getting pressure on Hudson. That little difference, he's an extremely accurate quarterback. Doing a little bit, get him some type of pressure, forces those errant throws.
So 3rd and very long, 3rd and 20. You can almost play like a prevent defense here to make sure they don't find something to the sticks. Hutchison from his own end zone has some time here. This one's completed back towards the original line of scrimmage to number 7, Chase Campbell. Did they say it was out of bounds?
And this is exactly what the Dragon defense wants as a first series. You're going to get a 3 and out. Now, if you're Frenship, you've got to execute a big penalty on 1st down. You can't have that.
And 3 incompletions thereafter. So an uncharacteristic start for the Tigers. Hutchison completed 74% of his passes coming into today's game. The punter is Holden Phillips. This is just his 5th punt of the season, according to Tiger stats on Max Prep. So the Carroll returner, Brock Boyd, shy of the 50, waiting for it there, as it is a short kick that bounces about the 32 and goes out of bounds at the 36. So great field position for the Dragons on their first offensive possession. And Robert, we've seen Carroll turn short fields into points frequently over the last 2 weeks.
Well, that's where they're very dangerous. They love working with the short fields. They can find the end zone very, very quickly, especially for this running game. It opens it up. It makes them very versatile, passing or running. They look for them on the stride to really establish the run.
Graham Knowles, the quarterback. Riley Wormley will be in at running back on this first series. Jake Fulmer, the receiver, split out to the left side of your screen. Clayton Wayland goes in motion out to the right. They get the ball to him along the line of scrimmage. Makes a man miss at the 30, dragged down at the 25. A flag comes in late. Looked to be on the hit. We await the word.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 35. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
So a big mistake for Frenship. The penalty called on the junior linebacker Cooper Archer, and giving Carroll the short field plus the penalty tacked on.
There's 2 big penalties Frenship's experienced here on just the first 2 drives, putting Carroll in a great position here. Great pitch and cut by Graham Knowles and Clayton Whalen on that.
Officials call for the clock to be stopped. Not sure if there was an issue with the play clock, but either way, they put it back in motion here. So first down, they flip it to Eric Bussman, running right to left, is pushed out of bounds. Another flag comes in. Or check that, that was Angelo Renda. We had, for the first time this season, we see Angelo Renda and Graham Knowles on the field at the same time. And now Renda will head to the sidelines.
Holding, offense number 9. 10-yard penalty, previous spot. Remain first down.
So that'll back up the Dragons, but an interesting wrinkle, because you and I have talked about what it could look like if we saw those 2 quarterbacks on the field together. We saw it right there for the first time all year.
We were talking about that earlier today, is, getting those 2, Graham Knowles and Renda, on the field together. And I'll tell you what, Renda's such a dynamic player once his hands reach the ball.
Davis Penn gets the carry on first down and long. Dragged down inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line. So a gain of about 8 for Davis Penn. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
It's a great job by the Dragon O-line, and really, their foundation, Davis Penn, on that, getting back some of those yards from the penalty and creating really a manageable 2nd and 9 here.
Wormley, the lone back in there with Knowles now on 2nd and 9. They give it to him. Bounces it outside to the left and into the end zone for the touchdown. Riley Wormley finds pay dirt for the Dragons, and Carroll has an early 6-0 lead.
Chris, we talked about Riley Wormley, and his vision, his development. Watch his patience here, getting behind left guard Trent Wilson and Ben Carlson, the left tackle, using that cutback and getting into the end zone. He's doing a tremendous job. Touchdown Dragons. Great job, Riley Wormley.
So all of the Carroll yardage comes on the ground on the first drive of the game. And Kyle Lemmerman is on for the Tommy Pennington Realty Group extra point. He is converted all 68 on the season. Make it 69 with 9:44 to go in the first quarter. It's Carroll 7, Frenship nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons.
If someone in your family has an accident or gets sick and needs emergency medical help, do you have a game plan in place? Complete Care is your answer for a nearby ER that's open 24/7, even on holidays. Centrally located in Southlake on 1709, west of White's Chapel, Complete Care's medical professionals are trained to handle minor or major emergencies. You'll get priority care with little to no wait time and no surprise billing. Visit Complete Care and get in, get out, and get back to life.
Riley Wormley finds the end zone for his 12th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Dragons are up 7-0 just over 2 minutes in as the Massaro kickoff off the foot of Kyle Lemmerman sails out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Are you looking to buy or sell your Southlake home? Let me tell you about Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty. Kim is recognized as the best of the best in Southlake by industry professionals and clients alike. She's a mom of 2 Dragons and a 20-plus year Southlake resident who serves the community and will seamlessly handle all of your real estate needs. Contact her at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, where style meets results. Proud agent for Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty. So after 3 incomplete passes on the first Tigers possession of the game, Hudson Hutchison goes back to work looking to throw on first down. It's batted down at the line of scrimmage. I believe it was Julian Monero that got a hand up there and knocked it away.
Yeah, Julian Monero is such a big guy, 6'3", they call him the juice. Again, they've got to get pressure. They're continuing to do it. Exactly what the Dragon defense needs to do. Frenship, they've got to do something to establish some type of run game to slow it down just a little bit, Chris.
Not used to having 4 passes fall incomplete off the bat to start a game. This time Hutchison looked like he wanted to pitch it out to his cousin Landon Hutchison, but instead tucks it and dives forward for a couple of yards, maybe 1 or 2, but it'll be 3rd and long.
And we've seen this, the Dragon defense playing so fast since that Byron game. You had White Duffy there, getting the penetration, forcing the running back on the cutback, and then Dustin Moore there to clean it up. Tremendous job this Dragon defense line is doing today.
Well, let's see what the Tigers dial up here on 3rd and 9. Have yet to pick up a first down in this game, though this is just the second possession. In motion goes Robertson. Hutchison looking to throw, steps up, has room. 25, dancing forward there, short of the 30, and the Dragons stop him there to bring up another 4th down. There is a flag in the secondary.
Holding defense, number 23. 10-yard penalty, previous spot, automatic first down.
Mitchell Paulson called for the hold. Been a lot of penalties on both sides so far in this one. Get a look at the Carroll sideline. New set of downs for the Tigers, though. The ball at their own 36. 2 receivers each side. Hutchison has time, steps up, hit as he throws, and it falls incomplete. Intended for Landon Hutchison. And Hudson Hutchison comes up limping afterwards. There is a flag on the play on the far side of the field. So we wait for this one to be communicated.
Holding offense, number 75. Penalties declined.
That's the left tackle, Grayson Pelsor, called for the hold. Carroll instead will take the 2nd and 10.
And that's all has to do with Wyatt Duffy. He's playing tremendous so far. He's on the edge, creating some havoc there. He got the big hit on Hudson.
They keep it on the ground this time. Picking his way up the middle is the running back Luke Cortez. Up to the 39. Give him 3.
And tremendous pursuit by Dustin Mark. We talk about Dustin a lot, almost being a Superman type player. I tell you what, he comes off that edge. He comes all the way around over to the left side and makes the tackle. Tremendous effort by Dustin Mark.
So 2 lined up in the backfield this time with Hutchison. It is Cortez and Landon Hutchison. On 3rd and 7 to throw. Has to escape, rolling out to his left. Will tuck it and try to run for the first down, and caught from behind by Zach Engelhart. Great open field tackle by the senior safety to bring up 4th down.
Talk about playing fast. The Dragons bring pressure. They bring Zach Engelhart on here. He gets halted on by the offensive line. Watch his pursuit on the quarterback. Tremendous job staying with them. Shoelace tackle, big play.
Hutchison looked like he was ticketed for first down yardage there easily, but Engelhart with the big stop on the mobile quarterback. And Frenship will have to punt again. Again, Holden Phillips, the punter. And they run a trick play, direct snap it to the up back, but flags fly. They had yardage for the first down, but this one looks like it may be coming back. That one was snapped directly to, I believe, Jacob Bankston.
Offsides, defense. Penalty decline. Results of the play is a first down.
Well, Carroll, the one that jumped on that one, as Frenship at the last second brought everybody up to the line.
And we know this is part of Northcutt's playbook. He likes to do the trick plays here and there. Got him on a good play. That was a big guy running the ball there, Chris.
We know that Frenship will try to create extra possessions when it can, as Hutchison looks to throw. Again has time, but nobody's open, trying to get away, and will just throw it towards the Carroll sideline. He was leveled on the back end of that play. Flag comes in late.
And we have a flag on the play.
This one's probably going against the Dragons.
Intentional grounding. Number 1, offense. Lost it down, spot foul. 2nd down.
So Hutchison called for intentional grounding. I thought they might get Carroll for the hit there at the end, but there was no receiver in the area. I'm not sure Hutchison was out of the tackle box either when he let that one go.
Well, we're talking about the defensive line doing tremendous pressure, but it's being caused by the secondary of the Dragons doing a tremendous job on coverage and making the quarterback not make a throw, and the defensive line is just doing a tremendous job of getting to the quarterback.
Empty backfield here. Carroll rushes 4, gets this one away, complete to Robertson over the middle, and is brought down at the 44.
Pass complete to number 8, Brooks Robertson.
But right, Hutchison, they're getting pressure, but he has some time, but there's nobody open when he makes that first and second read.
Yeah, and that's the coverage. You got to be careful because he will get out and run a little bit, but they've done a great job on just containing him and really flushing him outside the pocket versus him stepping into the pocket. We talked a little bit about in the pregame. Dragon defense is hitting on all cylinders right now, but great catch by Brooke Robinson.
3rd and 16. Frenship has consistently been in 3rd and long situations.
First charge, timeout, Frenship.
And Jay Northcutt will take his first time out of the half. We'll take it with him with 5:48 to go in the first quarter. It's Carroll 7 and Frenship nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with Clayton Real Estate, and we've been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale. Family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Carroll graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide to our clients. The best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 for your free home evaluation. Go Dragons.
Frenship uses a timeout here before this 3rd and 16 play. Quarterback Hudson Hutchison just 1 for 7 so far tonight for 14 yards. The one completion to senior Brooks Robertson. Looking for another one here to keep this drive alive. Hutchison to throw. has to step up in the pocket, collides with his own lineman, trying to find somewhere to go, throws it up for grabs, and this one is incomplete. It was nearly caught. Leighton Stone looked like he had both hands on it at one point, but Trey Ferry and Mitchell Paulson in coverage knock it away, and it is another 4th down.
You see Hudson here trying to find something to go over the top to gain that yardage. You know, again, he's flushed out of the pocket. Tremendous job by Austin Davidge and just almost getting the sack there. And then staying tight on the coverage, creating an incomplete pass. Great job by the Dragons secondary.
Carter High also in the mix there on that breakup.
Of course, we talked about that. That's where the Dragons want to see in those 3rd and long situations. Those aren't easy to get out of. You know, it allows you to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Boyd calls for the fair catch. And makes it at the 31-yard line. So Carroll with a little bit of a longer field to go here on its 2nd offensive possession.
Again, this is the first time for that Frenship offense that you've probably seen a little sputtering here. You know, they're a high-flying offense averaging over 46 points a game. This is new territory for them, but again, giving another opportunity to the Dragons in relative good field position.
The lowest scoring game for this offense of the Tigers this year was 17 points. That was in a 17-12 win against Abilene in Week 4. Graham Knowles on first down to throw. Goes far sideline, complete to Boyd across the 40. Mark him out of bounds at the 41, so right at the sticks, a 10-yard gain for the sophomore wide receiver.
And this is what you loved about Graham Knowles' role over the past few weeks. He stayed in the pocket. He's making a good reads and great comeback route by Boyd and tremendous blocking up front by the offensive line, getting plenty of time to make that throw.
Boyd last week, 3 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown. Davis Penn in the backfield will motion out to the left. Empty set for Knowles. Looks to his home sideline again and completes this one to Boyd. Back-to-back grabs for the sophomore. Pickup of 7. It'll be 2nd and short.
Yeah, Graham is seeing that soft coverage, and he's seeing that he's creating space in those comeback routes. It makes it really hard, but you're giving, and Graham's going to take what you're giving him, 5 to 6 yards. You know, those are easy throws for that duo.
So 3 receivers in a bunch formation along the near sideline, wide side of the field for the Dragons. Knowles fakes the handoff to Penn, throws to Boyd again, gets some blockers out in front of him across the 45-40, now going side to side to the 35, down to the 30-yard line as Boyd dances his way through this Tigers secondary all the way up to the 30.
Great pitch and catch by Graham Knowles and Boyd. We're seeing this a lot over the last few weeks. You know, you see Boyd here. He sees daylight and he sees the end zone, but great awareness, great cutback, and showing his athleticism and getting in the open field, making some good yards after catch.
He made a bunch of guys miss to pick up a few extra yards. We saw big Caden Blakely there involved in the mix, and that's the middle linebacker we've talked about pregame. Listed at 6'3", 240 as they flip it. Here going right to left, Christian Glenn across the 25-yard line up to the 23 where they'll mark him down.
And Caden Blakely, he's such a big guy, Chris. It's hard to miss him there on the field. He's an opposing force. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to lead block up on him.
You almost got to get a lineman out on him. 2nd down. Give it to Penn again. Big hole left side. Cuts back. 10-5. Touchdown Davis Penn. Back-to-back drives with a rushing touchdown for the Dragons. And it's 13-0.
Chris, that left side of that Carroll offensive line is on fire. Ben Carlson, Trent Wilson, and Drew Cunningham. Watch the hole I could even run through. And then watch Penn turn on the Jets and gets the pay dirt. Tremendous job by the young back.
So Penn now with 20 rushing touchdowns on the season. Kyle Lemmerman will come on for the Tommy Pennington Realty Group extra point. It is up and through with 4:14 to go in the first quarter. It's Carroll 14 and Frenship nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Dragons lead 14-0 with just over 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Riley Wormley and Davis Penn have both scored touchdowns for Carroll so far, as the Massaro kickoff will once again go through the back of the end zone for the touchback. So a 24-yard touchdown run for Davis Penn, 2 carries, 32 yards for the sophomore. And now the question for Frenship, Robert, is how do you get something going here? The first 2 possessions for the Tigers have not produced a lot of yardage, kind of been bailed out by penalties.
Well, we've said this a lot this year is, sometimes on the offense, your greatest defense is just keeping the Carroll offense off the field. You're going to have to establish some type of dominance on line of scrimmage. You're going to have to get that run game going in some sort of way.
So out into the flat goes Landon Hutchison, catches that one along the line of scrimmage, trying to turn it upfield, and has a hard time doing so. Not sure if they gave him anything. Right back to the original line of scrimmage. So the completed pass, but no gain on the play.
Well, Coach Northcutt said that Landon Hutchison is that hybrid type player. He's going to catch it. He's going to run it. They're going to get him out on jet sweeps. They're going to throw some pop passes to him. And that's a lot of their run game, essentially, is just trying to manipulate those wide receivers that they have in some way.
Just the second completion tonight for Hudson Hutchison. This time they hand it off to Landon Hutchison, trying to turn things up across the 30. Picks up about 5 before he is brought down by Bridger Gents.
Yeah, they're not a big, inside or zone type team in between the tackles. You're going to see a majority of the rushing yards just hitting out there on the edges, and that's where they utilize a guy like Landon, who's a speedy guy, can get on the edge and really set the edge, develop some type of running game here.
3rd and 4. Gave him 6 on the second down run. Hutchison looking to throw under pressure, completes it. It's going to be awfully close. That was to Leighton Stone. They will mark it at the 38. That'll move the chains.
Great pressure by Trey Ferry. He comes off the edge here. He almost has a piece of this ball. He's so close. But actually, great heads-up play by Mitchell Paulson from preventing the yards after catch on a very talented Landon Stone.
Stone, the junior, more than 1,500 receiving yards on the season, as this one is complete to Chase Campbell. Gain of about 10 on the play. They'll move the sticks again on first down. So now Hudson Hutchison starting to get into a little bit more of a rhythm here for the Tigers.
Yeah, you're keeping him off balance a little bit. He's finding Chase Campbell. He's one of those super sophomores Frenship has. He's a guy who's an incredible athlete. Coach Northcutt said he plays on the basketball team as a varsity, as a freshman. He's a guy you'll see for years to come on this offense. Great play, great pitch, good catch.
Another first down for the Tigers. Carroll rolls a little more coverage over to the right side of the formation. Now they split both safeties out wide as Hutchison looks to throw. Looking over the middle, trying to find somewhere to escape. Gets this one complete to Landon Hutchison, and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds behind the original line of scrimmage. That's going to be a loss of a couple on the completed pass.
Yeah, we talked about the Dragons secondary stay disciplined and really trusting and communicating with each other. They're doing just that. We're seeing this all night, just nowhere to throw and having to dump it off to some late reads. This secondary for the Dragons is coming to work today, doing an excellent job.
You could see there Landon Hutchison did step out of bounds. Eric Garza in coverage, forcing him out. They go empty backfield again here on 2nd and 12. Gets this one complete over the middle of Robertson. Into Carroll territory, down to the 44.
Robinson's such a big target too. Sitting that 6'5", Chris. You get him on a comeback route. He's a big target. Again, you let those receivers make those plays, and Robertson's one of those guys who can make those plays. Great job by Hudson staying in the pocket and delivering a strike.
So after completing just one of his first 8 passes, Hutchison's now completed 4 in a row on this drive alone.
Yeah, they have to have a sense of urgency here, right? You're down 14-0. You're against the ropes. You've got to do something here on the series.
3rd and 2. Hutchison will throw, and this one is dropped. It was intended for Luke Cortez, one of the running backs. It fell to the turf. It looked like he would have had room to make the catch and run for the first down, but couldn't hang on to the ball.
Now, that's a catch they probably make every day. I know Luke probably wants that back. A big 4th down here for the Dragons, big stop.
Kind of in that in-between range. Too close to punt, too far for a field goal. So they will go for it on 4th down. Hutchison looks to the sideline. Carroll defense adjusting with him. Carroll bringing a lot more guys into the box before that one as Hutchison throws it up down the middle of the field. This one's going to fall incomplete, overthrown, intended for Campbell. Running step for step with him was the senior cornerback Sam Fuller, and the Tigers turn it over on downs.
Yeah, they got what they wanted on that. Again, you got to have some type of run game if you have that shorter distance. But again, Hudson found what he wanted, got a step on the defensive back, wants that throw back a little bit. But they're going to try to do those shots over the top from time to time. They got that matchup that they wanted.
So the Dragons get the ball back with 62 seconds to go in the first quarter, leading 14-0 here in the area round of the playoffs. We are at Abilene Christian University, Wildcat Stadium for this one, the neutral site. Whalen goes in motion from left to right. Glenn lined up in the slot on the left side. Knowles looks to throw, gets it out to Whalen along the line of scrimmage. Across midfield, puts his head down, trying to bull his way forward to the first down marker, and I think he got there. Give him 11 yards on the play, and Clayton Whalen moves the sticks.
And this is the Riley Dodge offense formationally. You're bringing guys in motion, you're creating space, you're getting Clayton Whalen out there on the flats. Great job, great move, and again, you get the ball in Clayton Whalen's hands, he can make some moves and get the yards off the catch. Tremendous player.
Another first down for the Dragons. They fake it to Wormley, throw it over the left side, complete to Jake Fulmer. The senior spinning his way forward to the 37. Mark him up at the 36. Flag on the play.
Holding offense, number 51. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
We got the senior left tackle, Ben Carlson, for the hold. That will negate the Fulmer catch.
Something you don't see very often by the Carroll offensive line on the holding call.
Correction, ineligible downfield, number 51 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
That's more like it, Chris, because we do not hold. It is not in our vocabulary. It does not happen. It is a myth. So the correction, we stand corrected. No hold by the Dragons.
It's really the big guys just want to go catch a pass, right?
That's right. That's right.
So 1st and 15. Hand it to Wormley. A lot of room on the right side. Breaks through the secondary. He could go all the way inside the 10-5. Touchdown, Riley Wormley. Untouched to the end zone. It's 20-0 Carroll.
And Chris, we talk about the inside zone, the bread and butter of the Carroll Dragons. You don't see a lot of things off tackle, but this is what Riley Wormley brings. He brings that speed on the edge, and when he sets it, he can turn on the jets. And does he do it better than ever on this play? Gets the pay dirt. Another touchdown for Riley Wormley. He is a special player.
Just outran the Frenship defensive backs, Maverick Allen and Hudson Simpson, to the end zone. for his second rushing touchdown of the night. Tommy Pennington Realty Group extra point off the foot of Kyle Lemmerman is good. With 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter, it is Carroll 21 and Frenship nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, offering dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks, so you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. Keep your phone and keep your number, too. Just go to patriotmobile.com/dragons or call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code DRAGONS.
At AC Pros, we are a family-owned company that has been in business for 27 years in the DFW Metroplex. At AC Pros, we offer air conditioning and heating services, maintenance and sales, and we are a certified Trane dealer. Protect against the Texas heat or the cold in the winter with attic insulation, radiant barrier, or window replacement options. Contact us today for a complimentary energy analysis and air quality test. AC Pros, online at acprostx.com. Go Dragons!
Dragons up 3 touchdowns with 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Riley Wormley now 2 carries, 63 yards, 2 touchdowns. Macero kickoff goes back to the end zone for a touchback. And Robert, I think that's a pretty good carry to touchdown ratio and pretty good yards per carry.
I would say so, Chris. And again, I've got to give a shout out to the offensive line doing a tremendous job. But I tell you what, Wormley, you're doing a great job. Your development over the past few weeks is tremendous, and you're really seeing it. Gosh, that burst of speed, Chris, we're seeing it from him and Pinch tonight. Tremendous, tremendous job.
Yeah, the 2 running backs accounting for all 3 Carroll touchdowns so far. And Frenship's offense started to move the ball a little bit more on its last possession as they hand off on first down on what could very well be the final play of the quarter. That was Luke Cortez on the carry, picking up about 3 yards, and it does not look like Jay Northcutt's team is in a rush to snap the ball again.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, you don't pass the set up the run. You got to run the set up the pass, and when you're so pass heavy, it creates a tremendous pressure on your offense just to get the ball down the field.
That's the end of the first quarter.
So after 12 minutes of play in Abilene, it has been all Dragons, 21-0 over Frenship. Start of the second quarter coming up next on the Dragon Sports Network.
Howdy, Dragon fans. This is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing. As a Southlake resident, I understand what winning teams and championships are all about. CLC Roofing is your one-stop commercial and residential roofing provider. We offer roofing, gutter, skylight, and solar options for your home. Whether you need a new roof or just a repair, contact us today to schedule your free roofing inspection. You can visit us online at clcroofing.com or contact my office directly at 817-416-ROOF. That's clcroofing.com or call us directly at 817-416-ROOF. And go Dragons, let's finish.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whites Chapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
So Luke Cortez picks up a few yards on first down, and Frenship will start the second quarter, 2nd and 7 from their own 27 or 28.
False start offense, number 67 and 72. 5-yard penalty remains second down.
Make it 2nd and 12 before the second quarter even gets underway. So penalties, well, the Frenship offense, Robert, hasn't been able to get anything going yet. They haven't helped themselves with penalties either.
Well, no, I think we've seen more laundry than probably my freshman year in college here on the field tonight. And I'll tell you what, it really sets you back as an offense. It just creates you in a hole, and it's just tough to get out of.
Dragons show pressure, then back off as Hutchison throws to the near sideline, and that is incomplete, intended for Chase Campbell. That ball was probably uncatchable. In coverage, Zach Englehart.
At that time, Chuck Shrippa, on that right side versus Grayson Pelsler, just getting pressure, and it's kind of been that target area all night has been giving up that pressure to Hudson. And I tell you what, the Dragon defensive line is having their way tonight.
Carroll just 3 down linemen here, but rushes 4 anyway as Hutchison looks to throw. They stood up Mark, and he rushed the quarterback over the middle to Campbell. This one is complete. First big play of the night for the Tigers down to the Dragon 40.
And I tell you what, Hudson is having a tough night. He's on his back an awful lot. But, what commitment here to stay in the pocket. And he knows he's going to get hit by Austin Davidge. He throws, a good vertical pass over the middle and great catch. That's what they can do from time to time, Chris.
Throw it over to the left side again to Campbell. This one's complete. Pickup of 7 on the play.
Chase Campbell, tackle by number 25, Sam Fuller.
So Campbell with catches on back-to-back plays for the Tigers. They'll throw on second down. Hutchison trying to step up, brought down from behind. Dustin Mark got there for the sack.
Tackle made by number 44,
Dustin Mark, relentless. Watch him off the edge here on some great rip move inside and just tremendous pursuit. And the big guy gets up, shoots the arrow. Incredible sack.
7th sack of the season for the senior, committed to Princeton. And that backs the Tigers up a few, facing a 3rd and 6. Maybe 4 down territory, but flags come out here before the ball is snapped.
Illegal snap. Number 55, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Penalties continue to be problematic for this Frenship offense. Go from a 3rd and 6 to a 3rd and 11. 6 offensive penalties already for the Tigers. Statistician Ryder Maple pointing this stuff out. Tight splits for all the receivers on 3rd and 11. Landon Hutchison bounces outside. Hudson back to throw. Looking right. Completes it at the 30-yard line to Stone. Trying to find somewhere to go. Brought down by Bridger Jent, but that looks like it's going to move the chains up to the 28.
You can tell Hudson's battling here. He's limping on one leg. He's having it's a tough night on pressure, but again, coming in and delivering a strike on that slant to Leighton Stone, their big target, tremendous receiver, great way to get him out of that hole.
Yeah, Hutchison was banged up in the first quarter on a play in which he was hit as he threw, and this one is completed again to Stone along the far sidelines. The back-to-back catches for their leading receiver, who had 88 catches coming into today.
You got to remember, Hudson, he can get the ball out really, really quickly. He's got tremendous accuracy, and you're seeing why that connection has been so tremendous this year and why Leighton Stone, you're looking at creeping up over 1,700 yards receiving for the year.
And Northcutt told us Stone has a knack for just going up and being able to get it once the ball's in his hands and really fly. And gets it to him again, spins, and will turn into the end zone for the touchdown. Stone made the catch and made a quick move around the Dragon defensive back and able to get into the end zone for the first Tigers touchdown tonight.
Yeah, great protection by the O-line, and Hudson's just given everything he's got into a comeback route in Leighton Stone. He gets the ball in great move, spins to the outside, gets the pay dirt, touchdown Frenship.
Oh, for the Dragons, by the way, that is the first points allowed by Carroll in 3 weeks.
That's quite a milestone for that defense.
So the shutout streak comes to an end for Carroll as Drew Cox knocks through the extra point. With 9:29 to go in the second quarter, it is Carroll 21 and Frenship 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
Leighton Stone with 3 straight catches as Frenship tries the onside kick. Fulmer comes down with it for the Dragons. So we knew this was something that Jay Northcutt might try every once in a while to steal a possession. Tries the onside kick after the first Tigers touchdown, and instead will give the Dragons good field position here with 9.5 to go before halftime.
Yeah, that's very common in their scheme of what they do. We saw it on film and also pregame. Probably out there for a good 10 minutes just practicing that kick over and over and over again.
Dragons will have it at their own 47. Great starting field position for Graham Knowles. Christian Glenn goes in motion right to left. They'll swing it out into the flat for Davis Penn. Across the 50, 45, and out of bounds there, right at the marker. So he picks up 10 on the reception, and they'll move the chains.
Yeah, great play by the Dragon offense. You know, it's almost like a sweep type play, but with a pass on it. You know, Davis Penn, you get him out in the open. Tremendous job and great blocking by Christian Glenn downfield, creating a little bit of opening. And again, getting the first down on first down is a victory.
They spread him out here. Only one DB out on the short side of the field with those 2 receivers, and they get it in the flat to Glenn, lowers the shoulder and falls forward for the first down. Physical running by Christian Glenn to pick up the first.
Well, Christian Glenn had the lead block on the last play. Now it's his turn, and you get Christian Glenn there on the perimeter. You know, he's such a dynamic player. He's a guy who started at receiver, went to running back, and I tell you what, he's electrifying when he gets the ball. Great play.
For Glenn, big pickup on first down. Carroll with back-to-back first down plays to start this drive. Whalen, man in motion. And they'll leave it on the ground, give it to Penn. Runs through the first contact and falls forward for a pickup of about 3. Just the 5th rushing attempt by the Dragons tonight. Doesn't feel that way because they've done some of these short passes into the flats for Penn and for Glenn, but
and when they touch the ball, they're taking it to the end zone.
Right.
And so, you know, it's not a flashy play, but again, you're getting 3 to 4 yards on first down, creating operable second and third downs, which the Dragons love to be in.
Dragon offense, 5 rushing attempts, 98 yards, and 3 touchdowns. They give it to Penn again. Running up the middle. They'll give him the 22. He'll be a couple yards short of the first down. 3rd and short for the Dragons here.
Tremendous block by Jonathan McLaughlin, number 55, the right guard, coming around on the slip block leading up on number 25, Hunter Hicks. You know, anytime when in doubt, just follow the big guys, Chris.
See if they take a shot here on 3rd and short. Penn, the running back. Knowles will throw. Complete at the 10-yard line to Whalen, and is going to be brought down inside the 10. The 8-yard line, and coverage was Bryce Garza, the junior corner.
Again, you know, stepping back, Graham making a good read, looking his eyes are down the field, great protection, delivers a strike to Clayton Whalen in stride. A great job by Clayton Whalen making the yard for catch. I'll tell you what, we talk about his impact on the offense over the past few weeks. Clayton Whalen is an incredible player, and someone even preseason Coach Dodge was talking quite a bit about.
3 catches tonight for the senior. It's 1st and goal from the 8. Penn gets the handoff again, trying to bounce his way into the end zone, and he is going to be just shy of the goal line. They will mark him down at the 1. But this physical running from the Carroll running backs that we've talked about continues as they get up to the line and are going to snap this one quickly. Frenship loads the line of scrimmage with players. Doesn't matter as Penn walks into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the night. It is 27-7 Dragons.
I tell you what, it starts with that physical offensive line. We talk about a physical running back. You've got to be physical up front, and this offensive line is coming off the ball, moving the big guys, and you tell you what, you do that, you have room to run. Guys like Davis Penn and Riley Wormley, they're going to run hard for you.
Like half the defensive line was on the ground before Penn even got back to the line of scrimmage.
Tremendous job by the guys up front.
Lemmerman comes on for the Tommy Pennington Realty Group extra point. And he splits the uprights with 6:36 remaining in the 2nd quarter. It's Carroll 28 and Frenship 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. Mike Mills here. For nearly 25 years, I've been the managing partner of Mills Wealth Advisors, a top-rated wealth management firm. Does your financial life look like a junk drawer in the kitchen? Counts here and there with no cohesive strategy tying it all together? If so, give us a call and let our team of financial planning professionals organize your financial life so that everything is pushing and pulling in the same direction, tied together with a winning game plan, just like the Dragons. Find us online or on the web at millswealthadvisors.com.
Let's be real. No one ever wants to go to the emergency room. But you know how life goes. One minute you're fine, and the next minute you're looking for an ER. So if you need a doctor, and you need one now, head to Complete Care Southlake. Dr. Jeff Peebles and his team are here for the community 24/7 with personal, priority care with minimal wait time. And no surprise billing. The next time an illness or injury takes you out of the game, get to Complete Care Southlake. Get in, get out, get back to life.
Kyle Lemmerman puts the foot into the Massaro kickoff that Hudson Simpson will let bounce and roll through the back of the end zone for another touchback. The Tigers have run just 1 out of the end zone so far tonight. It was the first one, and it failed to get back to the 25.
Well, this Frenship offense, they found some success last series. You saw that dynamic connection of Hudson and Leighton Stone really be on course there, and then you saw, Chase Campbell coming in on a few big plays. They're going to have to do this, as we see a Hudson Hutchinson out there hobbling on one leg, trying to get this offense going and doing something here.
They did find the end zone for the first time on their last offensive possession. Looking to throw here. He's going to go deep down the middle of the field. This one is overthrown. Trey Ferry in coverage for the Dragons. That one was intended for Leighton Stone, his favorite target.
Again, trying to go vertical, and they do this from time to time. And Trey Ferry in hot pursuit, almost came away there about half step away from making an interception on that.
So we saw Ferry leave the field during the last possession for the Tigers, but he's back in there on this drive as they hand it off to Landon Hutchison, trying to bounce it outside to the left. Has some blockers out there and is going to step out of bounds at the 30-yard line, or 31.
And this really been their rush offense of all game here, is bringing it from one side of the formation to the other. Again, they're not an in-between tackle guy, but Landon Hutchison, I tell you what, you can get him on the edge. He's going to get some yards, and he's shown some flashes of that tonight. And really, they're going to have a little more development in that in the run game than just going to the jet sweep every single time.
He's a sturdy-looking guy. He's not just a receiver getting the ball. He's got a little size to him when he turns that corner and lowers his shoulder. So 3rd down and 4. Everybody up close to the line for the Dragons. Hutchison under pressure will throw it and complete this one across the 35 to Chase Campbell. Flag thrown back towards the middle of the field. As for right now, They move it up to the 38. Let's
Ineligible downfield. Number 50, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Well, Frenship had a first down, but Saul Trevino, the junior left guard, got a little bit too far down the field. That'll bring back that completion to Campbell.
And that's tough for Hutchinson. He's, the first read was sniffed out by the Dragons. He went to a second read. Again, you're forcing it back and creating a difficult situation here for Frenship. And I tell you what, if the penalties have really been their deterrent all game long.
3rd and 9 from their own 26. And Frenship is going to call a timeout.
Second charge timeout, Frenship.
We will take a quick break with them. Just over 6 minutes to go before halftime, and it is Carroll 28, Frenship 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Frenship calls its second timeout of the half before this 3rd down and 9 play as Hutchinson is under heavy pressure, hit and sacked. Wyatt Duffy came around from the blind side and drops the senior quarterback. Big loss, and it brings up 4th down.
Bringing pressure. You have Zach Englehart coming in here. A great pressure in the blitz. Again, stunning Hutchinson, and then Wyatt Duffy. Gosh, we've called Wyatt Duffy so many times now. He's having a phenomenal game. And again, big 3rd down by the Dragons.
Prior to that, the penalty backed them up again. They've got 7 offensive penalties, does Frenship so far tonight. Holden Phillips on to punt it away. Brock Boyd back to receive for the Dragons. High snap, almost blocked. It is low. Carroll will try to get away from this one as it rolls in favor of the Tigers across midfield back into Carroll territory. Are you looking to buy or sell your Southlake home? Let me tell you about Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty. Kim is recognized as the best of the best in Southlake by industry professionals and clients alike. She's a mom of 2 Dragons and a 20-plus year Southlake resident who serves the community and will seamlessly handle all your real estate needs. Contact her at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, where style meets results. Proud agent for Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty. 3rd time tonight, the Dragons have gotten the ball with a short field at their own 48. Already leading 28-7 with 5:20 to go before halftime. Knowles fakes the pitch, will look deep down the middle of the field, and Glenn was made contact with by the defender before the ball got there. In coverage was the senior safety Santiago Sanchez. Christian Glenn, the intended target.
Pass interference, defense, number 23, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic, 1st down.
Penalties on both sides of the ball, hurting Frenship tonight.
A good little fake by Graham Knowles, something we haven't seen often this play, but you got Christian Glenn streaking down the field, getting vertical, tough play by Sanchez on there, getting the pass interference. But I tell you what, that's something you like to see, getting that ball vertical and testing this defense.
Well, and at the high school and college levels, since pass interference is not a spot foul, your 15 yards is better than a touchdown. Glenn, the player that went in motion, Knowles this time will hand it off on the ground. Cutting back across the middle is Wormley. Makes a couple of defenders miss. Bounces it out towards the left boundary, and he's going to find the end zone. Riley Wormley, what a run. His third rushing touchdown tonight. It's 34-7.
Incredible play. Watch Drew Cunningham, the center, engulf this nose guard. Big pancake for the big guy. Then you see Riley Wormley. Look what he can do in open space. We talked about he can reverse field. He gets the pay dirt. I tell you what, he is a special running back. That's why he is so talented. You know, we've seen again the development over the last few weeks. Tremendous job, Riley Wormley, and great job by the Carroll offensive line.
His 8th rushing touchdown in the last 3 games. And Kyle Lemmerman will look to make it 35-7. The Tommy Pennington Realty Group extra point is good. So Riley Wormley, 3 carries, 100 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Unbelievable.
With 4:57 to go in the second quarter, it's Carroll 35, Frenship 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey there, Dragon fans. I'm Tommy Pennington. For years, the Tommy Pennington Realty Group has been the go-to real estate company when it comes time to buy and sell. When it comes to Southlake, there are 2 teams you can count on, the Dragons and the Tommy Pennington Realty Group. Be sure to visit us on the web at TommyPennington.com 24/7 to look at the latest homes available. Or give us a call, 817-416-9000 today. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. So from my Dragon family to yours,
Call Tommy.com. Go Dragons!
Where can you go anytime, day or night, when an emergency strikes? Complete Care in Southlake is an emergency room committed to providing compassionate, priority care with little to no wait time and no surprise billing. At Complete Care, you'll always see an ER-trained doctor, and they have all the same emergency equipment as a hospital ER. Open 24/7, even on holidays. Make Complete Care your choice for emergency medical care. Get in, get out, get back to life.
The Massaro kickoff off the foot of Kyle Lemmerman is going to be fielded by Hudson Simpson at the goal line. Bringing it out, trying to get to the left sideline. Puts the shoulder down and forced out of bounds there by Fisher. Gets across the 30. Will they get better field position than if the Tigers were to let this one go out of bounds? Don't forget to stick around for the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. Robert and Athletic Director Steve Kiesler be making the announcement of this year's class into the Dragon Hall of Honor at halftime. First, we will watch the Carroll Marching Band and Emerald Bells perform. As the visitors tonight, the Dragons will go first at halftime. As Hutchison on first down fakes the handoff, looking to throw under some pressure. And this one is going to be incomplete, as Dustin Mark got there as Hutchison released the ball.
You know, Eric Garza there step for step, and Hudson was looking for him the entire time. And we've talked about, you know, Garza and his roles that he's played. You know, he's not only, you know, put pressure on the quarterback, made the tackles, made the forced fumbles, interceptions, but I tell you what, step for step on a speedy receiver, great job.
He had a pick 6 last week against Boswell. Hutchison to throw, gets it complete over the middle to Campbell. Up to the 46-yard line. Gain of about 16.
That's a great job by Hudson, just staying in the pocket, getting Chase Campbell there on an inside slant, which they do an excellent job on. You know, these receivers run tremendous routes, and, you know, they're going to get some here from time to time.
Campbell's a converted quarterback, Northcutt told us this week, as Hutchison rolls away from some pressure, looking for Campbell, and it was too high. And talk about the accuracy from Hutchison, who was spinning away and still put it on Campbell just a few inches too high.
Oh, he's got a great arm, you know, and you give him a little bit of time, and, you know, this is time and time again where you've seen Englehart here on the pressure, you know, flushing him out of the pocket. You know, if you let him do what he does great, which is stepping up and making those good throws, get him out of the pocket, and even though he rolls out, you know, he's still extremely, extremely accurate.
So 2nd and 10. All at the Tigers' 46. Under pressure again, and they get to him. Dustin Mark just beats his man and gets to Hutchison for the sack. And Hutchison still coming up a little bit limping.
Tough day for Souter there on the right tackle. You know, again, a rip move, just using his 4.7 speed. In Dustin Mark, I tell you what, you know, it's not flashy. It's just a one-to-one matchup, you know, using a basic move. But I tell you what, he is a tremendous player on the edge, and he can get to the quarterback, and he can get to the quarterback fast.
Tick down to about 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. It is 3rd and 22 for this Tigers offense. And Carroll is going to use a timeout.
First charge timeout, Southlake Carroll.
So Riley Dodge uses his first one of the half with 3:26 to go in the quarter. It's 35-7 Dragons on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hi, Dragon fans. Mike Mills here. Imagine you're sitting in traffic on Friday afternoon, just trying to make it to the Dragon Kickoff. You change lanes to get ahead, only to find the lane you left speeds up right where you left off. Sometimes in investing is a lot like changing lanes in traffic. A new investment will look really good for a short while, but by the time you get on board, it loses its steam, and the best thing you could have done was just stick with your original plan. For over 25 years, we've been helping Dragon families achieve their financial goals. We can help you as well. Check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com. Go Dragons.
Wildcat Stadium in Abilene, 3:26 to go in the second quarter out of the first timeout taken by Carroll head coach Riley Dodge before this 3rd and 22 play for Frenship. Landon Hutchison in motion left to right. Hudson Hutchison to throw. This one must have been tipped at the line.
It was tipped by Julian Monero. The Juice, that's the second one of the night tonight. And you know, Coach Dodge has talked about Juice a little bit, saying that he's extremely long and athletic, and he has a tremendous reach, and he's utilizing it tonight. Tremendous job by the big guy.
So that one just flutters to the turf harmlessly as the difficult night for the Frenship offense continues. The Holden Phillips, the punter once again, to boot this one away for the Tigers. Brock Boyd back to receive. Low line drive kick this time that Boyd fields on a hop near the 20, trying to dance his way up, gets to the 30-yard line, so a short return for the sophomore. And for Phillips, wonder if that was by design, trying to go kick a high end-over-end kick. Had not worked his first couple of punts, so just get it as far down the field as he can. Give the Dragons a little more field to work with. So Carroll takes over with 3:14 to go in the second quarter, leading 35-7 in the area round of the playoffs. Knowles will throw it on first down. Wide open is Clayton Whalen, catches the ball at the 50, makes a man miss, staying in bounds inside the 35. It looked like the Tigers thought he was just going to step out on his own. Whalen kind of ducked under a defender and picked up an extra 4 or 5 yards.
Watch the poise of Graham Knowles here, staying in the pocket. You have huge Caden Blakely, 6'4", 240, coming in, delivering a shot on Graham Knowles. Delivers a strike to Clayton Whalen, and Clayton Whalen just keeping going, churning. God, that connection is doing a great job over the past few weeks in developing. Great pitch and catch.
On first down, they throw this one to Boyd in the flat. Wayland out blocking this time around as Brock spins out of a tackle, but it slows him down enough for more blue jerseys to get there and bring him down for a gain of about 5 on the play.
You just love that effort. You know, you saw Clayton Wayne with a big play, then he's right back on the next play saying, hey, Brock, I got your back. I'm going to do the blocking. Tremendous job on the perimeter and blocking and going to the whistle. That's what I love about this wide receiver crew for Southlake. Not only do they pitch and catch, but they actually block to the whistle.
Luke Jacquemard in the game for the first time tonight. He is at the bottom of your screen, number 81, the sophomore. He's got 3 passes for 91 yards this year. And On 2nd and 4, empty backfield, Knowles looks over the middle. This one complete to Whalen inside the 10. Flag comes in late. It's maybe a face mask against the Tigers. So Whalen continues his productive night.
Personal foul, number 5 defense, face mask. Half the distance, first down.
So half the distance will not amount to a lot, but it'll be a little bit.
And as you come in here, you see, again, Knowles stepping up in the pocket, catching Whalen. You know, Whalen does an excellent job. And, you know, if you're Frenship, these penalties or the end of you tonight just really put you in a bad position, putting the Dragons, again, an advantageable first down.
First and goal, Davis Penn, the running back, alongside Knowles. They give it to Penn up the gut and into the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. Davis Penn in there for the 3rd time tonight. Each Carroll running back has a hat trick, and the Dragons are up 41-7.
Tremendous job again up front. You know, I hope these linemen are getting on the sideline and getting some syrup in that Gatorade bottle for these pancakes they're making all game long. It is phenomenal. Up front, you're dominating the line of scrimmage. You're getting the guys in the backfield into the end zone. Great job.
Did you use the pancake maker at breakfast this morning at the hotel?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Chris. Come on.
Kyle Lemmerman on for the Tommy Pennington Realty Group extra point and puts it through. So with 1:45 remaining before halftime, it's Carroll 42 and Frenship 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building, attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Three touchdowns each tonight for Davis Penn, and Riley Wormley gives the Dragons a 42-7 lead as the Massaro kickoff off the foot of Kyle Lemmerman goes into the end zone for the touchback. Remember to stick around at halftime for the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. Watch the Dragon Band and Emerald Bells before Robert and Athletic Director Steve Kiesler reveal the 2023 class of the Dragon Hall of Honor. Get a look at some of the Carroll fans who made the 2-hour drive out west here to Abilene to watch Carroll take on Frenship in the area round. A minute 45 to go. Frenship trying to get some positive momentum. You're going before the half. Hutchison throws down the left sideline. Caught by Campbell, but out of bounds. Campbell is their backup quarterback, by the way, just worth noting since we have seen Hutchison hobbling a little bit at that position.
Yeah, talented guy. I think that's someone that Coach Northcutt is really, really high on, especially for next year. A tremendous athlete.
Said he's a converted quarterback and is taken to the wide receiver position well as they get this one complete to Leighton Stone in the flat, out across the 30 to the 33. Pickup of 8 on second down.
Second charge timeout, Southlake Carroll.
And Riley Dodge will use a timeout here with 1:28 to go in the second quarter. We'll take a short one with them. Dragons up 42-7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy. With delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons.
About a minute and a half to go in the second quarter. Riley Dodge uses his second timeout of the half before this 3rd down and 2 play for the Tigers after an 8-yard reception by Leighton Stone on 2nd down. Campbell goes in motion. They'll flip it to him out into the flat, has blockers out in front of him across the 40, and he is brought down the midfield logo. A little bit slow to get up was Campbell, but it will move the sticks for the Tigers.
Again, a great job by Hudson Hutchinson staying in the pockets, getting a good pass out to Chase Campbell. And again, you see the athleticism of Chase Campbell. When he gets the hands on the ball, he can make some moves. He's a tremendous player.
Landon Hutchison in motion. Hudson Hutchison to throw. Has time. Now flushed out to the left, under pressure, and will throw it away. First one there in pursuit was Julian Monero. And Hutchison will live to see another down.
I tell you what, Julian Monero is doing an excellent job. We talked about that, those interior 2 on that 4-man front, having to get some type of pressure to create Hudson to get flushed out. They're doing an excellent job of doing that, getting him to throw on the run. There's just nothing available due to that Dragon secondary. It's a tremendous job by the defense in general tonight.
We continue to see more defensive linemen rotating in for the Dragons over the last few weeks. Check Sharippa in there right now for Carroll as this one's completed out in the flat to the running back Luke Cortez. He's brought down by Sam Fuller after a short gain.
Yeah, good little pop pass there. You're trying to get some type of yardage. Again, not a huge running game.
Carroll. Third final timeout. Southlake Carroll.
And Dodge will use his 3rd timeout of the half here with 45 seconds to go in the second. It's Carroll 42 and Frenship 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with Clayton Real Estate, and we've been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale. Family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Carroll graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide to our clients. The best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 for your free home evaluation. Go Dragons.
So Carroll uses its 3rd timeout here with 45 seconds to go in the second quarter, leading 42-7. There's a 3rd and long coming up for Frenship. 3rd and 9 from their own 47. Hudson Hutchison to throw, has a little bit of time over the middle. This one is bobbled and incomplete. It was on Brooks Robertson. He just could not haul it in, so it'll be 4th down. And it looks like they're going to leave the offense out there.
Yeah, Hudson threw a dart, staying in the pocket, stepping up. I tell you what, his accuracy is tremendous. And I know Brooks Robertson wants that back, but the arm on Hudson is pretty impressive.
Now Jay Northcutt will send the punt team out there. We've seen one fake punt so far today, and that was a direct snap to big Caden Blakely that worked. Carroll jumped off sides on the play, and it gave the Tigers a few extra yards on the back end. Holden Phillips gets this one away to Boyd. He fields it around the 15. It's up across the 20. Dragons will take over there with 33 seconds to go before halftime.
Brought down by number 23, Santiago Sanchez.
And Chris, we were talking about a stat. What was the stat warmly tonight we're talking about?
He has 3 rushes and 3 touchdowns.
Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
They've covered 100 yards, too, so it's not like 3 goal line rushes either.
Right. I think overall this Carroll offense has just been executing over the last 3 weeks at a very, very high level, and we're seeing it on display again tonight. You're having the offensive line just doing a tremendous job. The running backs are getting involved. Graham's doing a tremendous job.
Dragons don't have any timeouts here, and they just leave it on the ground to Wormley, and he will not have 4 carries and 4 touchdowns here in the first half.
It's a surprise.
Goes quickly back to the line. They're going to throw at least one more time here. This one is complete to Wayland, enough to move the chains with 12 seconds left in the half.
Good job by Graham, just sitting in the pocket and getting Clayton Wayland on comeback route, and we're seeing such a tremendous job on those two tonight.
Maybe time for a couple of more plays if you can get out of bounds on a short completion here. Knowles drops back, throws over the middle, complete to Wayland, tackled in bounds though, and that is probably going to do it for this first half. So all Carroll over the first 24 minutes of this one. The lead at halftime is 42.
That's the end of the first half.
Is 42-7. Dragons doing a lot of damage on the ground, 3 touchdowns each for Davis Penn and Riley Wormley tonight. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show that will start with a performance by the Carroll Band and the Emerald Bells. After that, Robert and Athletic Director Steve Kiesler will reveal this year's class for the Dragon Hall of Honor. So once again, the score at the half, Carroll 42, Frenship 7. Feed Store Barbecue halftime show comes your way next on the Dragon Sports Network.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons! For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons!
Hey Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with Clayton Real Estate, and we've been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale. Family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Carroll graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide to our clients. The best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 for your free home evaluation. Go Dragons.
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, offering dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks, so you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. Keep your phone and keep your number, too. Just go to patriotmobile.com/dragons or call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code DRAGONS.
The Dragon Den is your home for the best selection of Dragon fan gear in town. We offer many styles and sizes, and we're your Dragon Hat headquarters. 100% of your purchase supports our student athletes and UIL sports grades 7 through 12. We're open weekly during all home football games and most Tuesdays and Fridays 11 to 2. We're everything Dragon. Interested in volunteering with us? We need adult and high school volunteers to work during hours we are open. That's the Dragon Den at Dragon Stadium. Go Dragons!
That's the Emerald Bells. Diamond sponsor for the Dragon Band is Vic McLean at State Farm. Platinum sponsors are Pronto Delivery and Logistics, Sun Dental, Stampede Sports, Texas Health, Medieval Times, Daphne Pilgrim Real Estate, Arbor Pediatrics, Serenity Gynecology, Methodist Health, Sewell, First Financial Bank, Mateo's Dad, and Eddie's Cat. Gold sponsors are Feed Store Barbecue, Laredo Hand, Frost Bank, Moxie Pest Control, and Central Market. The Carroll Dragon Band is under the field direction of drum majors Carson Fortner, Minju Kim, Faye Lau, Carissa Wong, and Caitlin Wong. Color Guard captains are Miranda Fay and Morgan Frazier. Lieutenants are Miriam Etheridge, Aditi Babu, and Anshika Soletti. The Dragon Band is directed by Ken Johnson, Philip Jones, David Lown, John Grant, James Thomas, and Nick McConaughey. Assistants are Melissa Medell and Ian Agnar-Barros. Okay, Dragon fans, you know what time it is? You know what time it is? It's Dragon playoff time in 2023. And that means it's time to get on your feet and put your hands to the beat. Clap along as students from the Carroll Dragon Marching Band, the Emerald Bells, the JV Bells, the Carroll Crew, the varsity and JV cheerleaders all bust their moves while that Dragon drum line lays down their trash can grooves. And now, here it is, in Dragon playoff football tradition, going on 15 years strong, the 2023 refined, student groups combined, one of a kind, never confined, student designed, about to blow your mind, halftime dance party lives!
Feed Store Barbecue on Whitechapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
At AC Pros, we are a family-owned company that has been in business for 27 years in the DFW Metroplex. At AC Pros, we offer air conditioning and heating services, maintenance and sales, and we are a certified Trane dealer. Protect against the Texas heat or the cold in the winter with attic insulation, radiant barrier, or window replacement options. Contact us today for a complimentary energy analysis and air quality test. AC Pros, online at acprostx.com. Go Dragons!
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
Howdy, Dragon fans. This is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing. As a Southlake resident, I understand what winning teams and championships are all about. CLC Roofing is your one-stop commercial and residential roofing provider. We offer roofing, gutter, skylight, and solar options for your home. Whether you need a new roof or just a repair, contact us today to schedule your free roofing inspection. You can visit us online at clcroofing.com or contact my office directly at 817-416-ROOF. That's clcroofing.com or call us directly at 817-416-ROOF. And go Dragons, let's finish.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
All Dragons after 2 quarters, 42-7. Carroll over Frenship in the area round. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you from Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Abilene Christian University. All 42 points for the Dragons on the ground. 3 rushing touchdowns, Robert, for Davis Penn, and 3 for Riley Wormley.
It's been a tremendous night just for the Dragon offense and Dragon team as a whole. But, tonight here at halftime is a special night. Dragon Nation, thank you for listening. I'm here with Athletic Director Steve Kiesler. And I'll call you Coach because you were my coach, Coach Kiesler. I know the Hall of Honor has been a huge passion project for you, building off what the Dragon Council created. We have 9 inductees and 2 teams going into the 2023 Carroll Hall of Honor. What does the Hall of Honor mean to you, Coach?
Well, I think it loops everything back. To be a Dragon, we start so early, and our community embraces all our young kids, and everybody's a Dragon. And then as they move into middle school and then into high school, and then their dream is to play for us and be a Dragon, whatever sport that may be. And then at the end of the day, they're now alumni when they graduate, and we're proud when they come back. And this is a way to honor those remarkable feats that these student athletes did when they were here. And, it highlights them one more last time, but it closes the loop, in my opinion, of what we've done, in honoring individuals, teams, and supporters who have, distinguished themselves through excellence in athletics.
Well, that's perfect, Coach. And, I think it's been a great mission to see over the past few years of that created, and talk about a little bit of what you've organized on getting that into more of a formal Hall of Honor celebration.
Yeah, in 2011 they started it, and a lot of kudos goes to the Dragon Council, and I think actually Kevin Ozzie was part of that, and a lot of people started that and kicked it off, and thank you for that, and bringing that to our athletic program. And then when I got here in I guess it was 2017, 18, I guess. We got a group together that, and you obviously, Robert, you're part of that and part of our board. And Craig Jacobson stepped up and became our president. And so we have a board and a nomination committee, a banquet committee, and a lot of people put a lot of time into that. And that happened in 2019 was our first big banquet. And so we just really wanted to take it to another level. And really express our appreciation to those Dragons that provided us those great memories.
And I think that's great, because that's, when I look at it as a former athlete for Carroll, it's neat that although you're gone, you're not forgotten, and you're brought back, and it's special. So, everyone out there listening, without further ado, here is the 2023 Carroll Hall of Honor inductees. We're going to start with the two teams that are going to be inducted. That is the 1982 baseball team. That was the first baseball team to win a state championship for Southlake Carroll. The 1993 football team. That was the first ever back-to-back state championship team. And next will be a fan, the late Bob Bouvet. Bob was a guy who photographed all sports for Carroll for over the last 3 decades. He had a shop there in Town Square, REB Photo. And I'll tell you what, a friend and a tremendous asset to the community, coaches, players, everybody. The next is Whitney Riley Adair, softball player, class of 2004. Arguably probably one of the greatest softball players in Carroll history. Started at center field for Texas Tech for 4 years. Helped the Carroll team to the semifinals and was district MVP for 3 seasons. Next up is Dominic Mediate, class of 2001 for soccer, men's soccer. Led Carroll to its first state soccer championship, played soccer at the University of Maryland, and professionally for DC United. Our third inductee is Grace Kaminsky Davy, women's diving 2012, state medalist, All-American, dived at South Carolina, where she is now a coach, and it is her birthday today.
Oh, hey, happy birthday.
So happy 30th birthday.
All right.
The next is...
It's a pretty good gift.
Pretty good gift.
Yeah, I would guess so.
Next is Trey Newton, class of 2008 football. Trey was a 3-year starter at Carroll, winning 2 state championships, rushing for over 4,728 yards. Went on to be a running back at University of Texas. Tremendous individual. I've had a chance to talk to Trey. You can't meet a nicer person, just an amazing individual. He held the rushing record for an awful long time here at Carroll. I believe it was broken last year. Next up is Reed Brown, cross country and track, the class of 2017. State championship for Carroll in the 3,200 meters and state runner-up in the 1,600 meters. Ran at the University of Oregon, breaking records and winning championships in several events. Next inductee is Kennedy Leonard, women's basketball 2015. After a record-breaking career at Carroll, she went on to the University of Colorado, becoming one of their all-time leaders in assists and 8th in scoring. She is currently playing professionally in Europe. Next up is Adam Ulatowski, and I love this. I'm a former big guy, offensive lineman. I love getting these big guys in there. I love the receivers, running back, and quarterbacks. So again, the offensive line is tremendous. Class of 2004. Adam started 3 years at left tackle for the Dragons. He was a parade All-American. Ulatowski then started 4 years at the University of Texas, playing in the 2009 NCAA championship game. The next up is Kathy O'Brien, class of 69. She was a state qualifier in the 440-yard dash, third at regionals in the mile relay, basketball second in Region 2, 1A, which is Miss CHS in 1969,
homecoming queen in 1969. And I tell you what, the O'Brien family is a very special family, and my heart goes out to Kathy. She was part of the fires there in Maui, and I tell you what. But I tell you what, this class is a tremendous class, and couldn't it be more exciting? Congratulations to all of you.
Yeah, no doubt. Congratulations from everybody in Southlake, everybody at Carroll ISD. A quick shout out to all our nomination committee, our board of directors on the Hall of Honor. And I know that this is going to be a super special night. We are going to host it March 23rd, so we're excited about that. And for more information, be sure to check out dragonhoh.com, and that'll give you some more information. But again, congratulations from me and from all of our athletic department and everyone in Southlake for this amazing feat, and excited for 2023 team inducted class.
I can't let Coach go here, too soon. I'll talk his ear off, but if you want to nominate someone, go to the Dragon HOH website. Go put a nomination in if you can. I want to mention this: the 1993 football team coach. You were on that sidelines with Bob Lebeter. You actually came there as a visitor. That was one of your first interactions as wanting to become part of the Dragon family. You told the story before, but real high level before we got to go into break. What does that mean?
Well, it just means everything. I mean, that was my first experience with Southlake. I went to that state game in Waco, watched them win it, and then I went straight down on the field afterwards, found Coach Lebeter and told him that at that time I want to be a Dragon, I want to be a coach here, and I pursued that hard, and he gave me the opportunity, and look what's happened. I mean, it's kind of weird how it's all taking place, but that was my first experience, and so it'll be a special night to be able to not only see those guys for the first time on the field in 1993 win it, but also have the opportunity to induct them into the Hall of Honor and be the athletic director there. Pretty crazy.
Well, Coach, thanks for joining us. This is the state of Texas' best athletic director, statewide, nationwide, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us tonight. We're going to take a quick break, and Chris Blake will be back on the air going through first half stats.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
Thank you.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. One fellow the other day has everything you need to make. For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons!
This is Dr. Mark Greenberg, team physician for the Carroll Dragons. All-Star Orthopedics is proud to be the official sports medicine providers of Dragon Athletics. Our 8 board-certified orthopedic specialists offer surgical as well as non-surgical treatments for a full range of orthopedic injuries and conditions, with on-site imaging and physical therapy, along with best-in-class outpatient and inpatient surgical facilities. You can trust that we will be there with you every step of the way. Let us get you back in the game.
(42-7) Dragons at halftime as you look out of the press box at Abilene here at Wildcat Stadium on the campus of ACU. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you as we look at some of the first half stats from our statistician tonight, Ryder Maple. And this is when all Dragons tonight, especially on the ground, Carroll has run the ball 11 times for 149 yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 apiece for Davis Penn and Riley Wormley. Penn, 7 carries, 48 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wormley, 4 for 101 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's right about 25 yards per carry for the junior running back. Been just as good through the air. Graham Knowles has not thrown an incompletion, 14 of 14 for 179 yards. No touchdowns, obviously, with all 6 coming on the ground. Clayton Wayland has been favorite target tonight for Knowles, 7 catches for 106 yards. For Frenship, with the sacks of quarterback Hudson Hutchison, The rushing numbers do not look great. 10 for 4 yards, no touchdowns. The one touchdown did come through the air. Hutchison is 15 of 31 for 157 yards and a score. Chase Campbell, the leading receiver, 5 catches, 82 yards. The receiver who had that touchdown is the junior Leighton Stone, who was their leading receiver all season coming into tonight. Stone had caught 88 passes for nearly 1,600 yards and 22 touchdowns. This is a team that came in with 3 receivers who caught 70 or more passes through the first 11 games of the season. You see the Dragons warming up before halftime. Couple of minutes to go before the third quarter kickoff. And just one other game going on tonight in 5A or 6A featuring a team from North Texas, and that is Jesuit and Coppell. The Cowboys are 10-0 and lead that game 28-10 at halftime. Coming up the rest of this weekend, all the other teams in our part of the bracket are in action. Tomorrow night here in Abilene, but over at Shotwell Stadium, North Crowley will take on Odessa Permian. And in Midland tomorrow night, Byron Nelson plays Midland, so a true road game for Byron Nelson in the second round of the playoffs. Prosper and Lake Highlands square off tomorrow night in Melissa. Allen and Arlington Martin will be at Dragon Stadium tomorrow night, so if you're in Southlake and looking for some more football fix tomorrow night, you can check out Martin and Allen. They're at Dragon Stadium. The winner of this one plays the winner of Highland Park and McKinney. That game is tomorrow night at SMU. Also tomorrow at Choctaw Stadium, that's the former ballpark in Arlington, DeSoto hosts Wiley East. In McKinney, Duncanville takes on Rockwell Heath. And in Mesquite, Cedar Hill and North Forney will square off. Cedar Hill an upset win in the bi-district round. That was Carroll's opponent in week 3. The Dragons actually had their lowest point total of the season in that game, winning 31-6 over the Longhorns. And then a couple of 6A games on Saturday featuring North Texas teams, Midland Legacy and Trinity. That is a home game for the Trojans. It'll be at Pennington Field. And Waxahachie and Rockwall will square off in Allen. But mentioned the article from the Dallas Morning News earlier today about how North Texas teams have dominated teams from West Texas over the last couple of years. DFW area teams 17-3 over the last 2 seasons against teams from West Texas or El Paso. And a West Texas school has not won a state championship since 2009. Abilene beat Katy in 5A that year. That was before 6A even existed. To get into a little bit of the reasoning here, the Morning News did a study on population growth last year and found that that has a major role in determining where the top teams come from. And with DFW being one of the fastest growing metro areas in the country, that has certainly been a reason for the influx of talent. And it's the opposite in West Texas. According to the Texas Demographic Center, 104 of Texas's 254 counties had a population decline between 2010 and 2019, and 79 of those 104 were west of Interstate 35. So that kind of tells the story about where the population is moving to, where more talent is moving into school districts, and where schools are not having that same influx of students and therefore more football players to populate these rosters. So both teams back on the field for the start of the third quarter. Dragons get the ball first here in the third. They won the toss and deferred to the second half. Carroll has kept it on the ground for the most part. Carroll's kept it on the ground for the most part tonight. Mentioned the 15 passing attempts for Graham Knowles, but all of the scoring has come on the ground for the Dragons. As Drew Cox gets ready to kick it away for Frenship. Tigers defeated El Paso Eastwood in the first round, 87-58. Carroll got here by beating Boswell 70-0. Remember the 7 points in the first half allowed by the Dragons. The first points that Carroll has allowed since the fourth quarter of that game against Byron Nelson 3 weeks ago. It's Cox, a little pooch kick that is going to be fair caught at the 30-yard line by Davis Penn, who's fired up about it. Sure, maybe in a little bit of a joking way over there on the Carroll sideline, but maybe Davis saying, hey, I'm going to get to return a kick here.
I wouldn't doubt it. He'd probably take it the distance as well as what these running backs have been doing tonight. It has been tremendous.
It is going to be Graham Knowles and the first-team Dragon offense out there to start the third quarter. Riley Dodge will normally send the first-teamers out for at least a series when they have a big lead at halftime like this, as he swings this one out into the flat. That is going to be out of bounds and a big hit on the back end.
And the second time we've seen Angelo Rinda in there as a receiver, again, getting some playmakers on the field. And we talked a little bit about that just this week. We mentioned this earlier. It's great to see Angelo getting on the field and making some plays at a different position. That's, talk about the unselfishness.
It's been the first play of each half that he got involved in the offense. Now it is Wormley in the backfield. Glenn goes in motion. Bunch formation to the left side. They get it to Glenn there. A couple of receivers out in front blocking across the 45 to the 48-yard line. A first down for Christian Glenn.
Chris, you're starting to see this little wrinkle, develop a little bit more with Christian Glenn, getting him in on these pop passes, allowing him to play in space. And I'll tell you what, more reps and reps and reps. He's going to be very dynamic. You get him in the open field.
So 1st and 10 for the Dragons from their own 48-yard line. Wormley takes the handoff across midfield into Frenship territory. Stays on his feet along the far sideline. I guess he stayed in bounds and finally shoved out by Maverick Allen. Riley Wormley somehow did not go out of bounds and gets all the way inside the 10.
I tell you what, Riley's doing such a great job getting on that perimeter, setting that edge. And I'll tell you what, he can find the smallest holes and he gets through them. And what tippy-toe, and then you have Jake Fulmer there on a great block. But I can't say enough about Wormley.
It's been outstanding tonight. That just his 5th touch of the game. And he's over 130 yards for the night. Knowles will throw. End zone incomplete. Looking for Wayland. Out of the back corner of the end zone. In coverage, I should say, was Maverick Allen.
And we talked about that two-headed dragon, Wormley and Penn. And, I think you're seeing a little bit on Wormley on what he can do on the edge when, Penn's in between the runner, in between the tackle runner. Wormley's getting that vision better in the inside zone, but getting to the edge quite a bit.
That was the first incompletion for Knowles all night. It comes in the third quarter. They give it to Wormley again, and he gets into the end zone for the 4th time tonight. Riley Wormley makes it 48-7 Dragons, 54 seconds into this third quarter.
Wormley, great job, but my man 55, Jonathan McLaughlin, coming through here like a freight train, just says, hey, follow me, and you have Berryman there as well. We're going to take you to the end zone. I just love how this offensive line and tight end are playing tonight. They're giving these holes for these running backs. Great job.
I think McLaughlin may have even bowled over Berryman on their way into the end zone. Looking at that replay,
you get a train going, Chris. You can't stop it. There's a big caboose back there that brings a lot of weight.
Lemmerman's point after attempt presented by the Tommy Pennington Realty Group is good. And just 54 seconds into the third quarter, it's Carroll 49 and Frenship 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Just as every pass, tackle, and touchdown is crucial on the football field, every investment decision you make can change the game of your financial future. Hey, Ty Lassiter here with Key City Capital, Carroll's MVP of investments, connecting your capital to wealth. Just like in football, strategy is everything, and our team at Key City Capital is here to help you make the right plays. So partner with us and don't worry about tenants and toilets. That's our job. Whether you're a rookie or a seasoned pro, our tailored game plan ensures maximum returns on your investments with the tax benefits of owning real estate. We've been in the game for 20 plus years. Trust us to be your quarterback to your investments, ensuring safety, growth, and a strong financial portfolio. Every great team needs strategy, discipline, and expert guidance. With Key City Capital, you're not just investing, you're joining a championship team. So give us a call at 817-912-1569 or visit us at keycitycapital.com, KEYCITYCAPITAL.com, and secure your financial touchdown now.
Massaro kickoff off the foot of Kyle Lemmerman, going to be fielded inside the 5-yard line by Hudson Simpson, trying to bring it outside to the left. Flag comes in as he goes out of bounds. Let's wait and see what this is going to be.
On the return, number 6, Landon Hutchison.
So Landon Hutchison on the return.
Holding offense, number 8 on the return, half the distance, first down.
So that'll back up Frenship a little bit more. All kickoffs tonight presented by Massaro, by the way, as Frenship has its first third quarter possession. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Massaro and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake, Massaro, where love is always on the house. So Hudson Hutchison, who had a tough first half, was under duress much of the first 2 quarters. Still responsible for the lone touchdown tonight, a completion to Leighton Stone that went for 6. But a false start here.
Snap infraction, number 55 offense, half the distance, remains first down.
So we talked about penalties in the first half, Robert, for this Frenship team, and now before they even run their first play of the third quarter, they've had 2, one on the kickoff and one before the snap.
It's hard to be successful, Chris, when you're starting, behind the sticks on every drive, or it seems like every drive, with a very talented team, and you got to go to the air every time. It's tough.
Hutchison, throwing from his own end zone, completes this one to Brooks Robertson. Get it back past the original line of scrimmage up to the 11.
It's one thing the Dragon defense has done. We talked a little bit about how do they do what they did last year. Well, they've taken a page out of that recipe, their cookbook from last year, and they're doing a tremendous job. And ultimately, I love seeing the commitment and the communication in the secondary and the back end. Just creating a little bit of havoc for Hudson.
On second down, gets this one complete across the middle to his cousin Landon. Across the 15 to the 16-yard line, it'll be 3rd and short.
The Dragon D-line has done a tremendous job. You'll see them playing some games up here, doing some tackle D and twist, trying to create an edge or set an edge and get this 5-man line where they're out of position in terms of blocking and get into the QB. They're doing a great job.
Throw this one in the flat to Campbell, makes a couple of defenders miss across the 25, dragged down near the 30-yard line by Mitchell Paulson, but a first down for the Tigers.
You see what Hudson can do and what he's capable of, and you see the athleticism of Chase Campbell. You get a little pop pass, you get him out in space, and he can create, and that's what's really exciting for this Frenship offense is they have a lot of talent. Just can't get themselves back in those penalty situations like they've seen all night.
So another fresh set of downs. Landon Hutchison, the receiver that goes in motion. Hudson Hutchison looking to throw, and will just throw it away. He could not find an open target, and we talked about this some in the first half, but he's getting pretty good protection for 3-4 seconds, but he just cannot find a receiver open. The Dragon secondary is doing an outstanding job tonight.
Well, part of what makes Hudson such a great quarterback is that usually within 3 seconds the ball's out of his arms and it's into a receiver, and they're a high-octane offense. And, those gaps have closed tonight, and it's making it a little bit harder for him to make those reads and make those decisions.
On second down, they hand it off up the middle across the 35 to the 36-yard line goes Luke Cortez. Brings up 3rd and 6.
You saw a little GT counter there. Maybe one of the most traditional, safest runs or better runs of the night, attacking the inside of the line. And, that's something they've had to do at the very beginning here. And, you've got to have some type of running game really to keep this Carroll offense off the field.
And running between the tackles is not something that this Tigers team does a lot of. Like to get the ball out wide. Robertson in motion. Low snap. Hutchison picks it up, fires over the middle, complete to Campbell at the logo, and will be brought down just shy of midfield.
You saw the Dragons drop into a 3-3 stack there. He actually moved in Dustin Mark there at nose guard, but great job by Hutchison just, getting a bad snap.
First charge timeout, Southlake Carroll.
So Carroll will use its first timeout of the second half here with 8:34 to go in the third quarter. It's Carroll 49 and Frenship 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
You can trust your medical care at Southlake Dermatology. We have over 65 years of experience between Dr. Bowers, Dr. Tynard, and our 4 physician assistants. We treat a wide range of medical, surgical, and cosmetic concerns ranging from skin cancer, hair loss, rashes, increased sweating, and anti-aging. There are multiple new options for hair loss, such as Nutrafol supplements and PRP injections. View our services online at southlakedermatology.com.
Dragons call their first timeout of the second half as a new set of downs for the Tigers with the ball at their own 49-yard line, trailing 49-7. Chase Campbell, the big catch to get him close to midfield. He's got 8 grabs for 110 yards tonight. Hutchison throws over the middle. This one's complete to Robertson at the 35. He's brought down a couple of yards later by Bridger Gents.
A big catch by the nephew of Lincoln Riley.
And Northcutt telling us that Robertson, that relation to Riley. And he's actually committed to Louisiana Tech to pitch next year.
And that's one thing we haven't talked about. They have about 7 or 8 athletes that are going to go play on the next level.
It's thrown over the middle and intercepted by Bridger Jens across the 35-40 and finally pushed out of bounds near midfield. Flags fly everywhere on the return, but Bridger Jens comes away with an interception for the second straight week. Helmet came off. That was Grayson Pelser, and you see Julian Monero stop on his way off the field to pat him on the back. So we await the call from the officials. It appears it will stay Carroll ball.
The result of the play is an interception. Personal foul, participating without a helmet, number 75. 15 yards, added to the end of the run. First down.
Well, you see here, watch here, you have Hudson dropping back, waiting for something to develop and trying to buy his time. And Bridger Gents just sitting home and sitting there in the soft spot, grabbing the INT for the second week in a row, doing a great job. And then, as you see 75 coming into the picture with the helmet off, can't do that.
It's probably tough to tell a young student athlete, hey, you just got to sit back and watch. But it's a safety thing, obviously, as this one is complete along the near sideline, dancing across the 25. Flag comes in as that one
Holding offense number 18, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, remains first down.
Christian Glenn going to be called for the hold. And that backs him up. We'll try again on first down. Complete at the 40. Out of bounds right there. Maybe a gain of 2 on the play. As Brock Boyd checks back into the game. Second and long. 15 to go for the first down for Carroll. Knowles fakes the handoff, completes it left side to Fulmer, and he's going to be ridden out of bounds by Cooper Archer, the junior linebacker for the Tigers.
Good little play fake by Graham Knowles, trying to suck defense in just a little bit. We've seen him target, Fulmer a little bit tonight. It's good to see Fulmer getting involved in the offense tonight, and then, good stop by Frenship. This Carroll offense has just been executing all night at a high level, and any stop that they can get is a victory for this Frenship defense.
That completion got Graham Knowles up to 200 passing yards for the night, puts him over 2,500 for the season. Knowles looking to throw, looking for Wayland in the flat, catch is made, but his momentum carried him out of bounds. It'll bring up fourth down. Carroll has not had a series on which it did not score a touchdown yet, except for the one that ended the first half. We'll see if they can keep that streak going here on fourth and long, 4th and 12 to go from the 37. Empty backfield for Graham. As time steps up, will tuck it and try to run himself, directing traffic at the original line of scrimmage, and is going to be pushed out of bounds along the Carroll sideline. So the Dragons turn this one over on downs. Again, that's the first time they have failed to score a touchdown on a drive that did not end the half. The Frenship defense gets the ball back.
Coach Dodge is sitting there saying, "Graham, get out of bounds, throw it away. Let's not run it. Let's not get an injury." But he's trying to make something out of nothing. That was the first time we've seen all night for the Frenship defense, who's put a good defensive stand against a very potent Carroll offense.
So Carroll cannot turn the Gents interception into points, and Hudson Hutchison and this Frenship offense comes back onto the field, thrown over the middle. This one nearly picked off by Gents again. That one was intended for Landon Hutchison. Bridger Gents was right there, might even got a hand on it.
And you watch him, he's just sitting down here in coverage and just watching the quarterback eyes and breaks on it, maybe just half a step away with another INT possibly.
Also there in coverage on the backside was Mitchell Paulson, sneaking a mitt in there as well. Second down. Hutchison, far sideline, complete Stone across the 50-yard line. A first down for the Tigers.
Again, good job by Hudson, just sitting back and delivering soft spot of the defense to Landon Stone. And, that's a connection they've seen all year, and great job.
We'll spot it right at midfield on that purple ACU Wildcats logo. Hand off to Cortez. Big hole up the middle. Ball comes out at the end. Carroll says they have it. And it looks like Eric Garza comes away with the fumble recovery for Carroll, and back-to-back takeaways for this Dragons defense.
Well, you're trying to find some type of identity on offense, and they're getting a little bit of success running it. You break a big gain, and you're getting some confidence, and then you fumble it and you have a turnover. That's not easy. It's not tough. That's 2 back-to-back turnovers on series for Frenship. Ultimately, this whole game, Chris, it's they're putting themselves out of the game. There's the penalties and turnovers. It's hard to overcome.
Zach Engelhart might have been the one that came in with the hit that forced it out. Garza with the recovery. So second team in for the Dragons now. Angelo Renda at quarterback, Jake Irwin at running back. Flag flies.
False start, number 8. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So that backs the Dragons up 5 yards.
In for the quarterback for Southlake Carroll, number 2, Angelo Renda.
So 1st and 15. With Irwin alongside. And running back gets the handoff, spinning around a couple of defenders, drags a couple forward to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Irwin, the senior, has carried 47 times for 222 yards coming into tonight's game.
And we talked about the first team, hitting on all cylinders, but this is a second team that gets Coach Dodge extremely excited about. The second group offensive line, they come off and they pin the ears back and they get after it. And it's neat to see the second line in this offense just move the ball down the field. They've done it all year when they've had their opportunity.
It's Jackson Crump, Spencer Gillette, Kerry Clayton, Xavier Gonzalez, and Patrick Lynch, all seniors except for Clayton, the center. Renda will keep it on 2nd down and 10. And to pick his way around that right edge and gets back to midfield for a gain of about 7. 3rd and 3 upcoming.
And we saw a lot of that last week with Renda when he got in the game was, designed runs, and then, more than likely he took it the distance, and and again, we can't say it enough, he's terrific, another dimension that he brings to the field to the Carroll offense.
He gives them the ability in the second half of a lot of these games to continue to attack while also keeping the ball on the ground. And we've seen him bust several big plays over the course of the season. High snap, gets through his hands, chases it down, and falls on it. So that'll back him up considerably and bring up 4th down.
Almost a rarity to see the second team offense not, get it down the field. They've done it so much this year, and they've done it against the ones. And, that's never an easy task, but, we're kind of spoiled in the sense of them going out and executing at such a high level.
This is just the 8th punt of the year for Kyle Lemmerman. Kicking away to Landon Hutchison. So Lemmerman with the big leg, high end over end, fielded near the 35-yard line. Fair caught and marked down at the 38-yard line. So just because he doesn't do it often doesn't mean he doesn't do a good job of it. Lemmerman 8 punts now on the year. Coming in, he was averaging just under 37 yards per punt and had placed 5 of them inside the 20. So Carroll defense will head back out onto the field, and as they do, I want to tell you about Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty. If you're looking to sell your Southlake home, think about Kim. She's recognized as the best of the best in Southlake by industry professionals and clients alike. A mom of 2 dragons and a 20-plus year Southlake resident, she serves the community and will seamlessly handle all your real estate needs. Contact her at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, where style meets results. Proud agent for Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty. Tigers pick up a couple of yards on 1st down. As some of the second team defense gets in there for the Dragons. Saw Jackson Mirza on your screen just a second ago as they complete this one out to Chase Campbell along the home sideline. Check Sharippa, one of the first ones in on the stop.
We say this, you have a little pop pass out to Chase Campbell, but you love seeing, even though they're the second group, they play like they're ones. They play high and they play fast. They get after the ball. This D-line, this is a D-line that's not really a second team. They're rotating all year with the first team as well.
Low snap, pressure coming. Hudson Hutchison is sacked. Nobody touched the charging defensive back or linebacker Marcus Browse, who comes in and takes down Hutchison again.
I tell you what, Marcus Browse came off the edge there with authority. Big hit on Hudson Hutchinson. Again, we're seeing a second unit, highly efficient against the number ones of another opposing team. It's great to see that. Excellent coaching, excellent job by these young men getting their opportunity.
So with 90 seconds to go in the third quarter, Frenship will punt it away once again. Holden Phillips is the punter for this group. This ball is going to be fair caught at the 36 by Brock Boyd. Dragon offense will have another opportunity. I'm sure Angelo Renda and Kerry Clayton want that one back after the high snap ended the last possession. So again, the winner of this one plays the winner of Highland Park and McKinney. That game is tomorrow at SMU. Essentially a home game for Highland Park.
Chris, what's your thoughts? Who do you have? Who do you think? Put you on the spot.
Highland Park's been playing well of late. McKinney started the year 6-0. Just went 2-2 over the last 4. But that was a loaded district with a backloaded schedule as well. I just said a lot of words and did not make a prediction, so there you go.
It's okay. I'll ask it again here in a minute, and we'll clarify.
Renda's pass falls incomplete. 2nd and 10. I know you're interested in the game tonight between Coppell and Jesuit. Coppell, unbeaten this year, the chance to make a deep run. This one complete to Jacquemart out wide, gets close to the first down marker.
And great job by Renda, finding Jacquemart there on a little, pop pass, getting upfield, and just that burst of speed, almost getting to the first down marker. Great job. Yeah, I am pretty interested in that matchup. I think Coppell is a formidable opponent. I think they've kind of gone under the radar. I think they can surprise some people this year.
3rd and inches. Hand it to Irwin, got the first down. Flag comes out, and he gets up to midfield. Coppell leading Jesuit now 28-16, that game in the third quarter.
Offense. Holding, 10 yards, previous spot. 3rd down.
So it goes from 3rd and inches back to 3rd and 10 for Dragon offense. See if Renda will go to the air here with under 30 seconds to go in this third quarter. Looking to the sideline. Play clock expires, and Riley Dodge will call a timeout.
Timeout, Southlake, Carroll.
The Dragons use their 2nd timeout of the half with 7 seconds left in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break with them as well. 49-7 Carroll on the Dragon Sports Network.
Where do Dragons go for sports equipment, footwear, branded gear, and much more? Not Just Soccer is Southlake's only full-service sporting goods dealer and offers an old-school shopping experience with quality products and service. From helmets to cleats and much more, Not Just Soccer carries products for football, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, and other sports, and are proud supporters of Dragon Youth football and baseball. Our store is in the heart of Southlake at Byron Nelson in 1709. Stop by soon and see our great selection. That's Not Just Soccer in Southlake.
The one last play before the end of the third quarter after Carroll uses its 2nd timeout of the half. It's 3rd and 10. Let's see what Riley Dodge dials up here. Renda throws out wide to Jacquemart at the 30. He's going to be brought down after a short gain of a couple of yards.
That's the end of the third quarter.
And that will do it for quarter number 3. So after 3 quarters of play, it's Carroll 49 and Frenship 7. Fourth quarter on the way on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
I'm Mike Mills, owner and managing partner of Mills Wealth Advisors. The Dragons are executing a game plan tonight developed by coaches they trust. At Mills Wealth Advisors, our team of certified financial planning professionals are wealth coaches, helping our clients develop a game plan to meet their goals and then coaching them through life's financial ups and downs. We integrate both offensive and defensive strategies to make sure your Dragon family has the resources it needs to succeed. Give us a call or see us online at millswealthadvisors.com. Go Dragons!
Kyle Lemmerman punts this one away. The first play of the fourth quarter. Landon Hutchison makes a fair catch inside the 25-yard line. And Frenship's offense will head back out onto the field. The Dragons up 49-7 at the start of the fourth. Carroll looks to move on to round 3, a stage they've reached every year under head coach Riley Dodge. In fact, they've made it at least 4 rounds every year since Dodge took over in the 2018 season. We'll play the winner of Highland Park and McKinney that game tomorrow night.
And Chris, who do you have? I'm going to keep putting you on the spot.
Well, I feel like I know more about McKinney than I do Highland Park at this point, but Bill Webb just told us that Highland Park's quarterback won't play as this snap gets away from Hutchison, and he's just going to fire it onto the Dragon bench for an incomplete pass. So does that maybe that gives McKinney a leg up?
Well, it definitely could. Highland Park's just, they've always had a tremendous program. And so I think they have the ability. And even with, Parker Thompson coming in, he's kind of that dual threat quarterback. He was here at Southlake for a little while and then went back over to Highland Park, and he's a tremendous athlete. And, they've really been excelling since, he's going in and playing a little bit sparingly as well. So he's a guy who's committed to Air Force, I believe. So dynamic player on his own.
Hutchison completes that one to Chase Campbell. Picks up 8. It'll be 3rd and 2. So that game tomorrow night at SMU. Any Dragons fans want to go scout out a potential round 3 opponent, as this one handed off to Jaden Tackett, the senior, gets his first touch of the day and picks up the first down. Run for 302 yards and 6 touchdowns coming in.
Yeah, and again, Jaden Tackett, this offense of Frenship hasn't run the ball a lot tonight, and we kind of see this in the second half. They kind of go to it. Even multiple teams we see with Southlake that try to do some type of hurry up or no huddle. Sometimes you got to slow it down just a bit, but again, all game they've had to establish that run game. At least they're finding some success here in the fourth quarter.
I'll give it to Tackett again. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. But Dragon fans could go watch the potential third-round opponent, or they could stay home and watch Allen and Arlington Martin tomorrow night at Dragon Stadium.
Yep, I mentioned it last week. Former All-State cornerback Chase Hargis is a defense coordinator there at Allen. He will be going to Dragon Stadium as well. Chase actually got a
false start offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
As I was saying, Chase Hargis, former Carroll Dragon, he actually received a Coach of the Week or Defensive Coordinator of the Week on the performance against McKinney earlier in the season. and he's done a tremendous job there at Allen so far this year. Congrats, Chase.
And you can go to that game and safely root for Allen. They're in Division I side of the bracket, so Dragons can not run into them at any point in the postseason here as Hutchison fires over the middle. This one held onto by Campbell. Nice catch, tough catch in traffic by the sophomore.
And that's something we've seen all game with Campbell is he's getting in on those little slant routes, and I tell you what, he's a heck of an athlete, and I'm assuming he's going to be moving over to that quarterback position next year, and he will provide a different dimension that they've had from Hudson this year.
3rd and 9. The Dragon defense tries to get off the field. Hutchison throws along the Carroll sideline, complete to Campbell, and he steps out of bounds inside the 40 to move the sticks.
Well, you see Hudson, he's been battling all game. Seemingly looks like on one leg, stepping up and just showing his arm strength and his accuracy, hitting Campbell. And again, we talk a lot about Campbell tonight. He's just been tremendous.
Cortez goes in motion. Hutchison looking to throw. Under pressure, flags fly. He is taken down. As we await the call. Dragons are going to decline this one as they sack the quarterback.
Holding offense, number 55. Penalties decline. 2nd down.
Campbell, by the way, up to 138 receiving yards tonight. So 6'2 sophomores had a big night for the Tigers, despite just 7 points on the board for Frenship.
Yeah, and he's a guy, he's had almost 1,300 yards receiving coming into the game, 17 touchdowns. So, he's electric when he has the ball in his hands, I'll tell you that.
Safety's playing very deep for the Dragons here on 2nd and long. Hutchison under pressure again. Steps up, throws it short, but dropped by Tackett out along the Carroll sideline. One of the Dragons in coverage there, Jackson Mirza.
Yeah, and seemingly, Hutchison's just dodging and dipping, in that pocket, trying to find something. And, he's been under duress all night. Even with, the second group coming in, they're still finding a way to get pressure onto him. It's been a long night for Hudson.
Just 2 down linemen on this play for Carroll as Hutchison rolls out with a little time and space. Now fires complete to Campbell. He was hit as he threw. And this one's caught for the 1st down, but Hutchison stays on the ground this time near midfield. He's helped up and will limp back to the huddle.
And you see him just, he's battling so hard. One of the state's best QBs. Just, he's trying hard. He throws up, and Chase Campbell's making a play. And, you don't ever want to see a player down on the field. And, he's a senior, doesn't want to come out of the game. And, I'll tell you what, showing tremendous heart, just trying to get some points on the board for his team.
And it looked like for a moment that Jay Northcutt tried to send Holden Phillips into the game to play quarterback, and Hutchison waved him back to the sideline. Handed off to Tackett on 1st down. Is going to be hit, bounces off a couple of tackles, stays on his feet, and now finally swarmed. Forward progress stopped at the 29-yard line. So loss of 3 on that 1st down run by Tackett.
Yeah, big play by Clayton Smart coming in off the edge and just delivering a hit and staying with it. Before they set the edge there, again, this Dragon defense is just playing fast. They're having fun, and they're making plays.
You have to admire this grit by Hutchison, probably saying, even if this is the final game of my high school career, I'm not coming off the field in the 4th quarter. He slings this one incomplete to the far sideline, intended for Campbell.
And Chris, they're wearing white helmets, but just to kind of show you what type of player Hudson is, you get these little decals, seemingly, doing great production points, things like that. And his helmet almost looks blue out there. He's a player and he's a competitor.
Timeout, Frenship.
And Northcutt is going to use his first timeout of this half. We'll take a short break with him with 7:52 to go in the 4th quarter. It's Carroll 49, Frenship 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Third and long out of the timeout for Frenship, and Holden Phillips will come on at quarterback. Hudson Hutchison limps to the sideline after taking a big hit on a completion to Campbell. Phillips, rolling out to his right, will stop and throw. Wide open there is Tackett. He makes the diving catch inside the 5-yard line. So the running back leaks out of the backfield, and Phillips finds him, set up first and goal.
Yeah, Holden comes in, a great little play fake to Tackett, rolls out, and you saw Tackett just sprinting down down in the flats, and you know he was wide open, and you know maybe a little long on the pass, but I tell you what, great play, first play.
It's not easy to come off the bench and be asked to throw a pass on your first play, as Tackett takes the handoff here, bounces it outside, and he is going to dive into the end zone for the Frenship touchdown. So here in the fourth quarter, 7:15 to go. Frenship finds the end zone for the second time tonight. It's 49-13 Dragons.
And great run by Jaden Tackett. Big play on the reception. The play before, hard, tough running. You know, they're determined to get in the end zone. It's been a long night, you know, for the Tigers tonight, but great job in executing and getting to Pater, Jaden Tackett.
Drew Cox on for the point after try. And that one is good. With 7:15 to go in regulation, it's Carroll 49, Frenship 14 on the Dragon Sports Network.
This is Dr. Mark Greenberg, team physician for the Carroll Dragons. All-Star Orthopedics is proud to be the official sports medicine providers of Dragon Athletics. Our 8 board-certified orthopedic specialists offer surgical as well as non-surgical treatments for a full range of orthopedic injuries and conditions, with on-site imaging and physical therapy, along with best-in-class outpatient and inpatient surgical facilities. You can trust that we will be there with you every step of the way. Let us get you back in the game.
(49-14) Carroll, with 7:15 to go in quarter number 4. Dragons give up second touchdown to Jaden Tackett, who had a big reception on the prior play, and then gets to finish off the drive with his 7th touchdown run of the season. And they will pooch kick it here. The fair caught by Jackamard, going back on it at about the 32-yard line. This Carroll offense will come back onto the field. Second team offense. Hudson Hutchison, by the way, the quarterback for Frenship, 27 of 49 tonight for 277 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But Holden Phillips comes in for a couple of plays and helps the Tigers find their second touchdown. In at quarterback now for the Dragons is the junior Carter Lind. Jake Irwin still in there in the backfield with him, and Irwin gets the handoff here. He's going to be brought down in the backfield, loses a couple of yards on the play.
We've seen Jake Irwin the past few weeks, especially last week, just a hard runner. He gets the ball, and I'll tell you what, he's as determined as anyone when he gets this opportunity. And it's good to see, you know, Carter Lind. We talk about him a lot. You know, he's every bit of 6'5". He does a tremendous job when he gets in the ball game as well. And he has the bright green neon shoes that Chris loves.
I think I would wear those.
I think you would.
Sneakers are one of the few places I'll go loud. I don't mind a little color on my feet.
Well, I see the green in your shoes tonight. I'm proud of you.
Thanks. Irwin takes the carry, gets 2 back plus 2 more. Set up 3rd down. A little more insulted that I've been wearing these almost every game we've done all season. And it took 12 games for you to notice.
Well, I am a fashion snob, Chris, and I choose when I give compliments when it comes around fashion.
So I'll take this one and know that it's high praise.
You need to take it and put it in your pocket and hold it forever.
3rd and 8. Carroll looks to use a little play clock here before it snaps the ball on 3rd down. Lind, design quarterback run behind Irwin, leading the way, fighting for first down yardage. Will not quite get there. Brought down shy of the 40.
Big, powerful run by Carter Lynn. Getting there on the outside, getting on that edge. And you like seeing that. And I'll tell you what, he loves having the opportunity, any opportunity that he gets in. And he does a tremendous job just getting out there and executing as well.
Dragons are going to go for it here on 4th and 4. Lind will throw down the right sideline, incomplete, and Carroll will turn the ball over on downs.
Pass is out of bounds. We'll have a turnover on downs to Frenship.
Intended receiver on that one, Sully Schaefer, number 9, running down the right sideline for Carroll. Now Frenship will get the ball back with 5:07 to go. Frenship out of District 2-6A, the 4th place team in that 6-team district. So 4 teams make the playoffs out of every district, regardless of how many teams are in it. Midland Legacy won 2-6A. 4-1 district record, and it was Midland and Permian. Frenship rounding out the top 4. Hutchison back in at quarterback. Ended off running hard for a gain of a few is Tackett once again.
That district has so much history, Chris. You talk about Midland Legacy and Midland and Odessa, Permian, Mojo. It's a formidable district, and they've had so much success over the years. And ultimately, a few of those teams have been state powers for a long time. And it's no joke we make the playoffs out of that district.
New running back into the game, number 22, Jordan Hernandez, a junior, going to get the ball and be stopped in the backfield for a loss of a few yards. Hernandez had 17 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown coming into tonight's game.
Great pursuit by Drew Davis coming off the back end here. Read it the whole way. And Drew Davis is another guy who's always stepped in and been formidable all year and just done an excellent job. And we can't talk enough about the Dragon defense. It's a tremendous group of guys.
3rd and 11. Wouldn't imagine we would see Frenship punt the ball again here as Hutchison looking to throw under pressure, and he's going to be sacked again. And Hudson Hutchison been hobbled and has been hit time after time.
And it's tough to see. He's trying to stand there and make some plays, and checks Ripper with a big play, a big sack, and it's almost like a heavyweight fight. It's you want to throw a towel in for him and say, hey, you've done your duty and you've done a great job. Let's pass it on and let's not get hurt and get seriously injured.
He's helped off the field by a couple of his teammates as Phillips comes on to punt it away. Boyd back to receive for Carroll. 3 minutes to go in the 4th. Phillips gets this one away. Will land near the 25, roll across it, and stop at the 24-yard line. Carroll offense will have a chance to kill the final 250 in this one and look ahead to round 3. Which we'll tell you where and when that is likely to be on our post-game show coming up in just a few minutes. It'll be the winner of Highland Park and McKinney. Again, that game being played tomorrow night in Dallas.
back in at quarterback for the Dragons, number 12, Carter Lynn.
So Lynn returns to the game at quarterback for Carroll. The throw on first down. This one falls incomplete.
Lynn's pass falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10, Southlake Carroll.
Intended for Jack McCaskill, wearing number 17 for Carroll. We talked a little bit at the beginning of the game about this facility, but it's been an outstanding stadium, great facilities here at ACU. See the baseball field across the way as well. Lynn takes the snap, designed run for him across the 30 and has the first down.
It is a tremendously beautiful facility, Chris. It's a great place to play a playoff game. But watch here, great job by Carter Lynn here. And watch Jake Irwin out there, setting the edge, making the block, and Carter Lynn getting there and getting the first down, muscling through. Great job.
Jake Irwin, a big blocking back for Carroll once he gets out in front. And he has the opportunity to do that often in the second half of these games. They run a lot of design runs for Renda and Lind. And Irwin has sprung, particularly Renda, several times this year. Bring a receiver in motion. Hand off to Irwin across the 40. Churning his legs to the 45.
And we made a comparison to Jake. I did. I wouldn't say we. I did. As to Mike Allstott when he gets in there and runs hard. And, in another age, the fullback position is obsolete nowadays. But, he's one of those guys you could picture there playing that position in lead blocking and setting the tone. He's just been tremendous all year and just a great hard runner.
On second down, they complete a short pass along the home sideline or the visitor's sideline for the first down. And Connor Lepke might have something to say about you saying the fullback position is obsolete. Cowboys fullback, team in the NFL that still utilizes that position occasionally.
Occasionally, if you're talking fullback, you got to go back to Moose Johnson, Corey Schlesinger, Tom Rathman.
The glory years. And Lynn takes the snap and takes a knee. That might be the first time all season we've seen the Dragons take a knee. But I can recall, usually they just keep it on the ground here in the fourth quarter, but Carroll will have to snap the ball one more time. There may have been a false start on that play.
False start offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first out.
After the penalty, 2nd and 15 for Southlake Carroll. Correction, first.
The offense will kill these final 47 seconds. Lind waits the snap and takes a knee. Dragons, depending on how long they wait to start the play clock, started it a couple of seconds ahead of the game clock, so Carroll will need to snap it one more time and run this one out to advance to round 3. Big night on the ground for the Dragons. 4 touchdowns for Riley Wormley tonight, 3 for Davis Penn. That gives Penn 22 on the year. Wormley has 15 as Lynn takes a knee, and Carroll will run this one out, come away with a 49-14 win over Frenship and advance to round 3. See that game after Thanksgiving. But an overall dominating performance once again by the Carroll Dragons. Carroll takes down Boswell in round 1, 70-0. Frenship here in round 2, 49-14 rather. And again, we'll play the winner of Highland Park and McKinney next weekend to get through the Thanksgiving holiday. See head coach Riley Dodge, his coaching staff, shaking hands with the Frenship coaches. And Carroll moves on to round 3 for the 6th straight year under Riley Dodge.
It's never easy, Chris. It's never easy when, you get the playoffs and it is a, win or go home, and, you feel for Frenship. This is ending the season. It's never easy, but I tell you what, this Carroll team came out here on a mission. They've been on a mission since the Byron Nelson game. They're hitting on all cylinders, offense and defense. It's just a tremendous sight to see. I tell you what, it's a lot of fun.
So it's a handshake line, extra long today because the Dragons bring up all the players in the program for the postseason, but it will come to an end. They'll go do the alma mater and get on the road. So once again, the final score, Carroll 49, Frenship 14. We'll wrap this one up coming up next on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Southlake. Carroll Dragons' biggest fan here, Tommy Pennington. The Carroll Dragons are consistent winners on the field, and so too is Tommy Pennington Realty Group. We're one of the biggest Dragon supporters year in and year out, and we certainly know what it means to protect the tradition. Every person in our company understands the value of integrity and strong work ethic. Sound familiar? Just like the Dragons, we're committed to you. So remember, when it comes time to buy or sell a new home, my Dragons would tell you,
call Tommy.com. Go Dragons!
Hi, Dragon fans. Mike Mills here. Imagine you're sitting in traffic on Friday afternoon, just trying to make it to the Dragon Kickoff. You change lanes to get ahead, only to find the lane you left speeds up right where you left off. Sometimes in investing is a lot like changing lanes in traffic. A new investment will look really good for a short while, but by the time you get on board, it loses its steam, and the best thing you could have done was just stick with your original plan. For over 25 years, we've been helping Dragon families achieve their financial goals. We can help you as well. Check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com. Go Dragons.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building, attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
This is Dr. Mark Greenberg, team physician for the Carroll Dragons. All-Star Orthopedics is proud to be the official sports medicine providers of Dragon Athletics. Our 8 board-certified orthopedic specialists offer surgical as well as non-surgical treatments for a full range of orthopedic injuries and conditions, with on-site imaging and physical therapy, along with best-in-class outpatient and inpatient surgical facilities. You can trust that we will be there with you every step of the way. Let us get you back in the game.
Where do Dragons go for sports equipment, footwear, branded gear, and much more? Not Just Soccer is Southlake's only full-service sporting goods dealer and offers an old-school shopping experience with quality products and service. From helmets to cleats and much more, Not Just Soccer carries products for football, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, and other sports, and are proud supporters of Dragon Youth football and baseball. Our store is in the heart of Southlake at Byron Nelson in 1709. Stop by soon and see our great selection. That's Not Just Soccer in Southlake.
The Carroll alma mater being played here at Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Abilene Christian University after the Dragons beat Frenship 49-14 to advance to round 3 of the playoffs. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you, and let's run through some of Ryder Maple's stats for tonight. 22 carries for each team, Robert. Factoring in sacks for Frenship.
Sure.
242 yards for Southlake Carroll. Negative 24 rushing yards for Wolfworth Frenship.
Wow.
So the Dragon defensive line getting after the quarterback Hudson Hutchison tonight, who goes 27 of 49 for 277 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Gutsy play by the senior at the end. Hard to watch a little bit in the fourth quarter, but the end, just an outstanding high school career for Tigers quarterback.
There's a reason why he's been so successful He is a gunslinger, and he can make any throw you want. Coach Northcutt said if he was maybe 2 or 3 inches taller, he'd be offered by everyone in the country. But I'll tell you what, tremendous effort tonight. But I'll tell you this, that Dragon defense came to play. They came with the game plan. They executed it, made it very difficult for what he does great. They got him out of the pocket. And then the Dragon offense, as you mentioned, it was just unbelievable.
Led by the running backs, of course. Riley Wormley, 6 carries, 153 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That comes out to roughly 25 yards a carry. 150. Davis Penn, 7 for 48, 3 more touchdowns of his own. And then Graham Knowles, just 1 incompletion tonight, goes 19 of 20 for 201 yards. Favorite target was Clayton Wayland, 7 catches for 105 yards tonight. But those running backs, Wormley and Penn, have really stepped it up. Wormley in particular had a couple of runs that were like video game looking.
Yeah, we mentioned in the beginning of the broadcast that Carroll averages about 8 rushing touchdowns a game. They're, I think, combined 1 away from that. You saw different avenues of how they executed those runs, whether it be in the outside or in the inside zone scheme. Now, Graham Knowles being highly efficient tonight, the conductor of that offense, whatever you might want to call it, he's really kind of settled down in the pocket and delivers some great throws, but also, being able to spread that out along the perimeter has done a great job. And, again, that Dragon offensive line, tremendous job.
Talked a little bit about the only other 6A game in our area going on tonight. That's Jesuit and Coppell. The Cowboys lead 35-23 in the fourth quarter. So Jesuit making a little bit of a push late, but the one Carroll fans will be paying attention to is tomorrow night at SMU, Highland Park and McKinney. Dragons will take on the winner of that one next week, and we can tell you that one will most likely be Friday afternoon, time TBD, but at Choctaw Stadium. That is the former ballpark in Arlington, the old home of the Texas Rangers. So Thanksgiving week, hopefully there's lots of extended family in town. Everybody comes out to the game and fills that place with green and white.
Bring your turkey, bring your fixings, bring your gravy, bring your pumpkin pie. Take it to the game. Bundle up if it's cold, and come support the Dragons. This is round 3. Let's get the support out there.
So Carroll will take on the winner of Highland Park and McKinney likely next Friday. That will be time and all that stuff will be confirmed shortly, but that'll the most likely scenario, Friday afternoon. So do your Black Friday shopping in the morning, and then get out to the old Rangers ballpark in the afternoon. So that'll do it for us here in Abilene. Once again, the final score, Carroll 49 and Frenship 14. For our director, Tim Polster, producer, Bill Webb, statistician, Ryder Maple, and for Robert Clayton, Chris Blake saying goodnight. Dragons move on to round 3. We'll talk to you next week on the Dragon Sports Network.
Tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by Whitechapel Methodist Church, Tommy Pennington Real Estate, Feed Store Barbecue, Macero, Hearst Mitsubishi, Patriot Mobile, Mills Wealth Management, Godwin Bowman PC, All-Star Orthopedics, Clayton and Clayton Real Estate, Complete Care, Fidelity Title, the Baker Firm, Not Just Soccer, Southlake Dermatology, CLC Roofing, Key City Capital, AC Pros, Kim Bedwell, Briggs Freeman Sotheby's, and Precision Eagle Pools and Remodeling. Thanks for joining us on the Dragon Sports Network.